Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service says there will be instability in the atmosphere, which means tornadoes, heavy rain, and damaging winds are all possible. Beech Grove High School was evacuated this afternoon because of concerns about a smoke-related issue. That's according to the school district, who has not confirmed any injuries. Students were sent home after the evacuation. There was a robbery, and someone was shot on the east side this morning. Indy Metro Police say it all happened at a bus stop around 5 a.m. near the intersection of Washington and Rural Streets, not far from Willard Park. Officers say 2 men were robbed. One of them had been shot in the foot. They're now in the hospital. Police are still looking for their suspects. Do you speed in construction zones? The state Senate passed a bill that would crack down on that. Parker Carlson reports.
You would have an 11-mile-per-hour buffer. If you go over that, cameras set up by INDOT and the state police flash. It's a part of a pilot program the State House wants to set up to curb dangerous speeds in construction zones, which INDOT said caused over 7,000 accidents last year and 31 deaths. The bill got bipartisan support in both the House and Senate, which it passed through this Monday, but an amendment means that it goes back to the House before becoming official. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Early voting starts today in Indiana. Absentee in-person voting is available for all registered voters with photo ID at their county clerk's office through May 1st. You can also cast your ballot by mail if you meet the absentee by mail requirements, and complete an application by April 20th. The primary election is coming up. It's on May 2nd. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. Everyone loves a smart investment, and there is no better place to put your money right now than in your home. Window Nation has the perfect offer for anyone with a home at least 20 years old. Protect and increase the value of your home and energy efficiency by installing new Window Nation windows. Window Nation is making it insanely easy to do so with 0% interest for 5 years. Plus, Window Nation will give you 2 windows free with every 2 you purchase.
Go with the window company that has installed nearly 2 million windows, including mine, by installers with over a decade of experience using only top-of-the-line installation materials, which is why 96% of all installations require no follow-up service. Call Window Nation today and lock in these limited-time savings when you need them the most. 866-90-NATION and pay 0 interest for 5 years. The life of your loan, and get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, what's going on, Matt Bear?
All right, Harrison, we are looking at northbound 65 in Franklin County. We have that delay again because of emergency cleanup from the storms over the weekend. Northbound 65 really jammed up between State Road 44 up the road towards Whiteland Road. And then we have a crash on the north side, eastbound 465 approaching 69. All right, latest blocks, stop and go traffic back to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. Dog bite injury? Call Isaacs and Isaacs, the law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Should be a very warm day, near record-breaking warmth with highs approaching 80. Expect to see a partly sunny sky. Lows will bottom out in the mid-60s with a few showers. We start off tomorrow morning with the potential for severe storms that'll carry over through the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Mead for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters?
They're weirdos.
So let's rock it.
Okay, Trump saying he's not guilty. 34 felony counts. Spared the handcuffs and mugshot, which I'm really kind of disappointed about. Look, I'm not, trying to make light of the situation necessarily, but the mugshot was what I was looking for.
Right.
I think that's what the Trump campaign was looking for. That was going to be one of the most iconic, like I said yesterday, one of the most iconic pictures of the 21st century. Certainly a sad day, though, when you see purely for political purposes, former president arrested on what amounts to hush payments to a porn star.
Right. 34 counts. 34 felonies. So you're telling me that the feds, who had been all over Donald Trump ever since he came down that escalator in late 2015, the feds have been sniffing all over this guy. They didn't find anything. But Fat Alvin, all of a sudden, is so good at his job, he found not 1, not 5, but 34 different things that they can go after Donald Trump on.
You have to remember the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, didn't even fine Donald Trump as it pertains to campaign finance violations and hush money payments to porn stars.
And what's crazy is even before Donald Trump made it to the courthouse earlier, we already knew what he was going to be facing today. Somebody had leaked it out. Now, if you really want to dive into some legal stuff here, leaking a grand jury disclosure happens to be a Class E felony in the state of New York, punishable by up to a year in jail.
Wonder who did that in an Alvin Bragg's office.
And I'm sure that the fact-finding commission that takes the law very seriously in New York is really going to clamp down and try to find the person that leaked that, the same way they're looking for the Supreme Court leaker.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Good point.
You know, when the political left wants something leaked out, it comes out, it's fine, investigation, But when it's something really important, say the list of clients for Pedophile Island with Jeffrey Epstein, boy, that list is sealed up, man. You couldn't get into that thing if you had like a blowtorch and a jackhammer. But again, I'm telling you, if that list of Epstein Island was Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and
plastered all over the place,
a bunch of high-rolling Republicans, it'd have been leaked out. But today, it's all about Donald Trump. He's scheduled to do some sort of speech at Mar-a-Lago tonight at 8:15. And you mentioned it earlier, Nige, no mugshot. I think that's really all this was about. They wanted the mugshot of Donald Trump. They thought that would be the holy grail. Here is CBS News legal analyst and attorney Ricky Kleiman talking about why there is no mugshot.
Well, the mugshot is interesting because there have been a lot of sources who have said, well, the equipment isn't in that particular place to do the mugshot. Some have said, well, he's so recognizable. But others have said that they didn't want to do the mugshot because he was going to fundraise off of that mugshot and that would be unseemly. Mugshots traditionally, as they come out in New York, are not given out to the public. But this is one you bet your bottom dollar would have leaked, and I bet a lot of money would have been made.
Yeah, Donald Trump walking across the courtroom. I was watching coverage of this earlier. From like getting fingerprinted and all that stuff. Then he walked across the court where he pled not guilty. He did not look like a happy person.
No.
He got out of the car in front of the courthouse, gave the old fist pump, gave the old, raised the fist, something like that. But that was pretty unceremonious as well. I mean, just walking into the courthouse.
This is a historic day, whether you agree with what's happening or not. You have to kind of soak it in. This is a historic day. But I do believe it's historic for a number of different reasons. One, obviously, a former United States president is being arraigned in a New York City courtroom. But also, it feels like this is a very dangerous moment for the justice system in this country. Because the justice system feels like it's been pretty political for the last couple of years. Folks that throw Molotov cocktails into pro-life facilities, slap on the wrist. You walk through January 6th and kind of get a sightseeing tour. You're in there for a long time. Very political. And now, look at the Biden family. There's a paper trail of money, corruption coming from China to his crackhead son, the widow, his brother, and the big guy. Nothing going on there. But Donald Trump makes an agreement with an adult film star. You might not like it or not, but it's two consenting adults that made an agreement. And now all of a sudden, you're talking about multiple charges. This is a really dangerous moment with the justice system in this country, Nigel.
Where there's no victim, by the way, except the American taxpayer.
Yeah. There's a lot going on for the American taxpayer right now as it is. They don't need any more being thrown on top.
I mean, the Mueller probe alone, tens of millions of dollars thrown down the drain. Russia, Ukraine, the Steele dossier, impeachment 1, impeachment 2, January 6th, sham committee hearings. It's all at the expense of the taxpayer dime.
And I think this is worth noting. The daughter of the judge in this case worked on the Biden-Harris campaign. Judge Juan Merchan's daughter, Lauren, was president and partner of Authentic Campaigns, a company that runs digital campaigns for Democrat candidates. And this is all according to the archived LinkedIn account of the judge's daughter. The company's website has a testimonial from Adam Schiff, of all people.
You don't say.
And according to Merchan's LinkedIn account, which is now archived, she worked as the, quote, director of digital persuasion for Kamala Harris for the People from February 2019 through December of 2019, which was during the 2020 presidential election. And also, according to the company's website, the Biden-Harris campaign was a client. So you're telling me Donald Trump's going to get a fair shake here? Again, you don't have to like the guy, but this is a total sham.
Forget about the judge. A fair trial. God forbid it goes to trial. He's not going to be able to get a fair trial in Manhattan or anywhere.
And what's considered a win if you're a never-Trumper, if you're somebody on the political left? What's the win? Because you're not getting the mugshot, you're not getting handcuffs, you're not getting a perp walk here. Is it just the fact that the process is happening? Is the process the penalty here?
The win, again, like one of my guests last week said, a series of tripwires for Donald Trump leading up to the 2024 election. This is not the only indictment we're going to see. The phone call in Georgia, we have possible obstruction charges in the Mar-a-Lago raid in terms of the classified documents. This is, I think we better sit back and hold on, because we're going to see more of this.
We had the story earlier this week that former Secret Service agents of Donald Trump being served their notices, and possibly this Friday, they could appear at a court in Washington, D.C. This is in regards to Donald Trump's handling or mishandling of classified documents down at Mar-a-Lago. So again, it's a historic day for a number of different reasons. We've got you covered all day, all night. And again, Donald Trump scheduled to speak tonight at Mar-a-Lago right around 8:15 p.m. Matt Baer, what's going on?
Looking at the northeast side, it is a crash. Eastbound 465 approaching 69. Right lane is blocked. Traffic stop and go back to Keystone Avenue south side. Eastbound 465. Before I-65, it is a car stalled in the center lane. Traffic sponsored by Comcast Business. Introducing small business savings from Comcast Business. For a limited time, you can save money on powerful internet. So don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Keep an open eye late tonight. Right now, it's beautiful. We got partly cloudy skies, 70 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Oh, man.
But coming up later tonight, could have some severe weather. We're talking about the overnight hours tonight. Marcus Bailey, the meteorologist for Wish TV, will join us coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock with the absolute latest. But coming up next, there was a local school that was evacuated today. Beech Grove High School evacuated, and the senior class president, it's a kid that I think you guys know pretty well. He's going to join us next. Chris Hammer, next on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
What really stands out about Shane Company is the vibe here. It's fun and welcoming. Hey there, I'm a Shane Company jewelry consultant, and my team and I will work together to make sure you have the best experience possible. We want you to feel at ease. It's a family business, and we'll treat you like family. We'll do whatever it takes to help you find what you're looking for and respect your budget. There are a lot of great things we offer at Shane Company that other jewelers don't, like the largest selection of styles in every price range and endless options to personalize your jewelry. Did you know you can create a necklace or ring starting with one of our beautiful gemstones and then watch our master jewelers at work? That's right. There's a jeweler workshop here in our store. That means you can see firsthand the craftsmanship and attention to detail they put into everything they do. If you've never been here, visit us today and see what we have to offer. It's more than fine jewelry. It's a really fun time.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little warmer outside, and that can only mean one thing. You know what I'm talking about, pothole season. Dodging potholes left and right is not fun, especially if you end up hitting one and getting a flat tire on the side of the road, which is one of the reasons why I am a AAA member. By the way, if you need new tires, do what I did. Call AAA's new mobile tire service, My Pit Crew.
I just had the My Pit Crew team put new tires on my car, and it was so easy. I didn't have to leave my house. They came to my house. Plus, as a AAA member, you get a discount on your My Pit Crew tire installation. Visit AAA.com/MyPitCrew to pick out the tires and schedule your installation, and then just relax. They come to you. The benefits of being a AAA member keep coming, so do yourself a favor and join AAA today. Get your AAA membership. Visit AAA.com, call 844-GO-AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
My name is Megan Davis, and I am the Director of Training and Communications here at the Humane Society for Hamilton County. We nominated Trudy because she truly embodies our mission and message of whatever it takes.
And I'm Jiffy Lube owner Steve Sanner. At Jiffy Lube, we are proud to support Hoosier charities that use their vehicles to do more to make Indiana a better place to live.
I think what the most important thing to me is when we get dogs in that are so scared, I just love to take these dogs under my wing. I need my vehicle to be in top shape because I'm driving here 6 days a week.
Jiffy Lube of Indiana provides all of our Do More winners with free vehicle maintenance for a year. Because now at Jiffy Lube, our trained technicians do more to keep vehicles like theirs and yours on the road. Brakes, tires, batteries, and more, as well as Indiana's favorite oil change since 1985.
Jiffy Lube accepts competitors' coupons, so you don't have to choose between saving a few dollars versus treating your vehicle to Jiffy Lube's award-winning service. Click on JiffyLubeIndiana.com for a Jiffy Lube near you.
Hey guys, it's Abdul, and I'm running for mayor of Indianapolis. You see, all my adult life, I believed in leaving things better than when I found them. As an attorney, I worked to leave my clients in a better position. As a teacher, I worked to leave my students better educated. And as a political commentator, I worked to leave my audience more informed. Now I'm running for mayor because I want the city to be in better shape. So go to AbdulForIndy.com and read about our plans to take a tough but smart approach to dealing with crime, our creative approach to road funding, and restoring public trust in government. You know, we all deserve a great city to live in, and together we can make that happen. It's not just talk, it's a plan. Paid for by Abdul for Indy.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope.
Nuh-uh.
Oh no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Woodard M. Hart, Henry, Reeves, and Wagner. Over 140 years specializing exclusively in patent, trademark, trade secret, and copyright law and litigation. On the web at uspatent.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest for the DriveHubler.com hotline.
He is known as El Presidente. He is the senior class president at Beech Grove High School and the official intern of the Hammer and Nigel Show. Chris Hammer joins us.
Hey, Chris.
What's up, buddy? All right, let's get into it here. Earlier today, your high school was evacuated, and the early reports were it was some sort of chemical-related thing. But I'm now seeing the release that your school put out saying that, you know, the hazmat team went out there, no evidence of a chemical spill at Beech Grove High School. They're now reviewing all security cameras to figure out what happened to cause this smoke, this cloud, whatever it was, to ultimately have to shut down your school. 21 people, students and faculty members, complained of some health issues as a result of this. So take me to when you first found out something was going on at the school.
Well, I was actually at lunch, and at our school, they let the upperclassmen leave for lunch. So me and my friends were at Culver's eating lunch, and one of my friends, Ryan, called me, and he just said, dude, we just walked out of the school. We're on the football field. Something happened. They're saying it's a gas leak or something. And then we just seen a bunch of police cars, ambulances, fire trucks racing down that Emerson Avenue there. And when we went back to the school, they had like the whole Hornet Avenue blocked off. We couldn't even get up to the high school. We had to park in a separate parking lot. And as soon as we got there, that's when all like the news vans started showing up, and they're asking us what's going on. And we were just saying that all our friends are saying some gas attack was happening or something, but we weren't in the building when it happened. We just got back and saw the whole area was just shut down, and they had a lot of fire trucks out there.
So what happens? Does an alarm go off, and then the teachers kind of just tell you guys, I know you weren't there for this incident, but I mean, I'm sure you guys have had many drills before. Will an alarm go off and you have to, walk out to the nearest exit in an orderly fashion type thing?
Yeah, my brother was in there. He said that the fire alarm went off, and his teacher just thought it was another fire drill and just told him to leave all their bags inside and they'd be back soon. And everyone got evacuated out of the high school, and they moved half of the people onto the far side of the football field away from the building and half of the other people to Hornet Park, which is the elementary school that's across the street from the high school.
Do you know anybody that smelled whatever it was going on in there, whether it be smoke or I guess or any sort of chemical? Do you know anybody personally that was affected by that?
I don't know anybody that was part of the injured that they said, but when we got back, we parked in the Hornet Park parking lot, which was just across the street from the high school because the actual high school parking lot was closed off, and you could smell something in the air. It wasn't too strong over there, but you can definitely smell something out there.
So, Chris, you take your brother to school. He's a freshman. You're a senior. You drive him to school every day. You're out at lunch. You're out at Culver's. You find out what's going on. Now, take me through the process of what it was like to try to get your brother to take him back home.
My brother was in the cafeteria of Hornet Park when I got back, and I told him, just come outside. We're going to go home. But he said they weren't letting anybody go outside, and they had teachers at every door keeping them in that building. And eventually they started letting people leave, but his area wasn't being released, and I needed to go sign him out. And it was just a big, long back and forth between me and him to try to get him to come outside. Eventually I was able to get inside, and I just had to sign him out, tell him I'm his brother, I'm driving him home, and they gave him to me, and then we left after that.
Good.
But it took a while to get him out of the Hornet Park building.
At any point, did you look at whoever was in charge and say, do you know who I am? Did those words come out of your mouth? Is that what made this thing happen, Chris?
I'm the president, man. You do what I say.
I did not, but that probably would have made the process go a little faster now I think about it.
Well, I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad that Jacob's okay.
I mean, it's got to be a little unnerving as a parent to hear that, Hammer. Your school's being evacuated and the words chemicals are involved and smoke. That's got to be a little rattling,
right.
I would imagine.
Yeah, there was about a 5-10 minute span there where it was kind of chaotic, but ultimately there's some pretty good organization there at the very end. So, Chris, great job. Good job muscling your brother out of the school, getting him home safely. Now, go play a baseball game tonight, and if you pitch out of the bullpen, hit somebody for me, okay?
Will do.
All right, thank you, kid. That's Chris Hammer, my son, the senior class president at Beech Grove High School. Allison, hit me with some booze news.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
We are gonna read booze news because it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Hammer and Nigel present
Booze news, booze news.
Yeah.
Time for booze news.
So, Kid Rock is not a big fan of the marketing direction of Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, no?
Let's make that perfectly clear. So, Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light, they've been taking heat ever since they collaborated with this transgender activist, Dylan Mulvaney, a biological male. They featured him on some sort of special Bud Light can. It was her face, whatever you want to call him, on the can, and he got some copies of those. Well, the beer company's been taking some heat because they're supposed to be paying tribute to women, and they chose a biological male. Also, it seems like it's bad marketing for a company whose main target audience is red-blooded dudes who drink beer and watch sports and do, testosterone things. You're going to put that person on the can? So Bud Light's been taking some heat. Well, Kid Rock did a video today where he set some Bud Light up on a target, had his firearms with him, and left us these words of wisdom.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible.
Oh, boy.
Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Kid Rock, ladies and gentlemen.
Why is everybody up in arms over this? Like, I don't even know who Dylan Mulvaney is. Something about, he's a dude that is celebrating being a woman for a year, and is he a social influencer or a comedian or something like that? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Some would say both, I guess, but I think the backlash comes because the audience, it'd be like trying to put this in front of a NASCAR crowd, right? Your beer drinking crowd, probably not the group that wants to have transgender rights shoved down their throats.
I think what people are, I think there's a mistake, common misconception here that Bud Light actually put these cans out for sale with this Mulvaney person's face on it. These were custom cans that they sent to her.
Right.
This is not something that's on sale.
But they also wanted the attention for it because the story got out.
They got it.
And is this the attention you want? Like, is somebody sitting around the Bud Light brand meeting and going, all right, our target audience is a fat guy sitting in his chair in Wisconsin, watching a baseball game, eating a brat. What is going to appeal to him? Oh, I know. Let's do an ad campaign about Dylan Mulvaney. That's really going to move the needle. And I think guys like Kid Rock are like, all right, enough is enough here. This is ridiculous. Just back off a little bit here. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Dr. Trudy Fleer here with the 5G Home Recovery Podcast. Let's talk about mobile users getting priority over T-Mobile home internet users, shall we? You don't know them. Why should they take your internet? I get it. We're raised to share. But always coming in second, paying to be taken advantage of? No thank you. With Xfinity, there's only one priority, and that is YOU. So come on, people, say yes to Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com/TMOFax.
Now through April 23rd, new customers can get started with 200 megabit per second Xfinity Internet with Wi-Fi equipment included. It's all just $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. Or learn more about speeds up to a gig. That's up to 36 times faster than T-Mobile home internet. Go to xfinity.com/TMOFax, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Terry Stacy here. At Easter, we gather with family to celebrate the traditions that comfort us. Make honey-baked ham part of your holiday meal tradition. Always slow-smoked for 24 hours, spiral sliced for easy serving, then fire-glazed right in the store to create that sweet, crunchy finish they're famous for. It's why honey-baked has been the centerpiece of holiday dinners since 1957. Taste the tradition this Easter with 2 Central Indiana locations, West 96th Street and Michigan Road in Indy, or East Greyhound Pass in Carmel.
Fellas, need an annual health exam for work or just want to start the year prioritizing your health? We recommend Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They check all your levels, not just your testosterone.
It's typically covered by most health insurance, and if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100. For full labs and an office visit with the provider, Low T Center specializes in men's health, making it quick and easy. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
I'm attorney Daryl Isaacs, the Hammer. Have you been injured by a dog bite? Let us take on the big insurance companies, and we'll fight to get you the money you deserve. Go to WeWin.com for your free case evaluation. Just click and get help quick. Go to WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Pleading not guilty, 71 degrees, cloudy downtown. All clear under radar. Rain chances tonight, though. The low drops to 68. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Former President Donald Trump has pled not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records and conspiracy. It's unclear how many of the counts are felonies and or misdemeanors. He was arrested and arraigned on charges related to alleged hush money payments that reportedly involve a former adult actress. President Biden not saying much about Trump's arraignment in Manhattan.
No, I have faith in the New York Police Department.
You have faith in the legal system at this point?
Yes.
White House Press Secretary Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters today the president is not worried about what's going on with Trump. 2 rounds of severe weather are expected tomorrow, but when they come, all depends on if there's a storm tonight.
If the thunderstorms overnight tonight end up making it all the way into Indiana, that's really going to limit the late morning, early afternoon threat. And then we'd be looking at the severe threat being more likely the mid-afternoon hours.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says those storms can bring damaging winds, hail, and even possibly tornadoes. There was a robbery and someone was shot on the east side this morning. Indy Metro Police say it all happened at a bus stop around 5 a.m. near the intersection of Washington and Rural Streets, not far from Willard Park. Officers say 2 men were robbed. One of them had been shot in the foot and is now in the hospital. Police, they're still looking for their suspects. Beech Grove High School was evacuated this afternoon, all because of concerns about a smoke-related issue, says the school. There have been reports of injuries, but nothing confirmed by the school district. Students were sent home after the evacuation. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
This is another ad about hiring. But it's not just another ad about hiring. R.E. Diamond & Associates has opened a special position, a construction project manager, for the right person. If you're well-versed in all construction methodologies and procedures, MEPT, and have an analytical mind, this might be the right fit for you. If you bring the experience, deep understanding of the construction process, and outstanding communication skills, R.E. Diamond will meet you with competitive pay, a great benefits package, and a work culture and environment that's second to none.
Hi, this is James Darnell, Vice President of Information and Communications Technology with R.E. Diamond & Associates. We were just voted one of the best places to work in Indiana. Our expertise, integrity, and organizational culture make us a great place to continue building your career. We emphasize service and respect for our clients and pride ourselves on having the majority of our clients as repeat ones.
To find out more, Google R.E. Diamond. That's R.E. Diamond. Or to speak with an R.E. Diamond representative, call 317-634-4672.
With traffic at 3:34, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison stopped Johnson County northbound 65 after State Road 44 up past Whiteland Road. The right lane is blocked to Whiteland as they continue to clean up from the storms. Looking at northbound 65, this is way on the other side of the world. Boone County northbound 65 stopped Whitestown Parkway up to 267, and eastbound 465 crash approaching 69. Stop and go to Keystone. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, Wicker, Berlin Gardens, Poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Clouds increase for tonight. Showers and storms in the early morning. Low temperature is 65 degrees. Wednesday brings the chance at strong storms and multiple waves. High temperature of 73 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
This situation absolutely requires a really futile and stupid gesture be done on somebody's part. We're just the guys to do it.
Hammer and Nigel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any question Ron DeSantis is eventually going to throw his name in the hat and run for the nomination for president in the GOP. Polls pretty much useless this time of year, but you do the eyeball test. Hammer, did you see any of his speech over the weekend at that conservative Pennsylvania leadership conference? It was sold out. It was filled with, like if you can get the grassroots activists on your side at some of these things that you're speaking at, then you know you're in a good spot. Quote, I can tell you this. This is how DeSantis wrapped it up. Quote, I can tell you this. I'm proud of what we've done in Florida. We're going to do more, but I have only begun to fight because we are going to save liberty in this country. God bless you all. It's kind of the way he, in a standing ovation, again, sold out crowd, grassroots activists, MAGA hat wearing people in the crowd that were standing up and clapping, and other highfalutin Republicans at this conservative thing in Pennsylvania.
And I'm wondering if Ron DeSantis can pick up a few more evangelicals, because that's always kind of been a Republican stranglehold, that group of voters. But there were some that had a little concern about Donald Trump. Maybe it's the whole porn star paying off thing. I don't know. But that's a section of voters that Ron DeSantis, if he wants, can probably tap into. But you're right. Polling this time of year, it's a big nothing burger. If somebody puts out a poll right now, print it off, take it to the bathroom and use it as Charmin because that's what it's worth. But if you're one of those people who likes polling and you're curious as to what the numbers are, there is a new poll out. According to a new survey from Mason-Dixon Polling, in a hypothetical head-to-head here between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida, DeSantis has the lead. Now, it's close. And Ron DeSantis, again, we can't stress this enough, has not officially declared that he's running for president, even though he's laying a lot of the groundwork here. But this poll from Mason-Dixon Polling says 44% of Republicans backing Ron DeSantis, while 39% backing Donald Trump.
So he's not going to announce anything until after the Florida State Legislature wraps up his annual session. I think there might be a law or some legislation going on right now that wouldn't exactly allow DeSantis to run for president while he's governor. I think they're trying to change that, but I think the writing's on the wall at this point. And you're right, the evangelicals, I mean, like, say what you want about Trump and his personal life. He had great policies. 4 years of economic boom, #1 energy exporter in the world, no wars to speak of.
Peace in the Middle East.
Peace in the Middle East, signing some of those deals that he did with different countries there. So, but yeah, there are some people that if you have a guy that has kind of the same policies, but not the, I don't want to say stank. That's the wrong word. It just kind of has the.
That's more of a Stormy Daniels word.
I said stank, not skank.
Well, there might be some stank there too.
But I think I get what you're saying with the evangelicals for sure, the Christians.
And again, Donald Trump scheduled to speak tonight down at Mar-a-Lago. He says 8:15, but the next time Donald Trump is actually on time for something will probably be the first time.
I was gonna stay dry tonight. I was going to take the night off of drinking, but he just keep on. He said, this is tailgate worthy.
Just when you think you're drying up, they bring you back in.
Honey, if you're listening, fire up the Traeger, get the wings on.
We've got a rain Trump rally tonight. It's not really a rally. It's just a speech at Mar-a-Lago, but curious to see what he has to say. 3 years ago, San Francisco's mayor, London Breed. She was one of the folks at the very forefront of the defund the police movement. She loved a good old-fashioned defund the police movement. Sure. She would do every interview, grant every request to crap all over police officers shortly after the murder of George Floyd. Funny how that works out. Because now San Francisco is short 540 police officers. They have a rapidly growing crime and drug epidemic. And guess who's asking the city, county council, and the federal government for more help? That would be one San Francisco Mayor London Breed.
You don't say. So the same thing that's happening here in this city, happening in cities everywhere where the police felt that they weren't supported by their the administrations over them. And certainly I believe that was the case here in Indianapolis, are having recruiting problems for sure. And keeping and retaining talent for that matter. Talent leaving IMPD going to a donut county.
How many times have we seen IMPD officers post on social media, I'll be joining the Carmel Police Department, or I'll be going to the Mooresville or Avon Police Department? You see that a lot. And that's a trend happening all over the country. Frisco is short 540 officers. And now London Breed, the same London Breed who was defunding the police, is now asking for federal help, local and federal help, to get more officers back in. Which brings us to great moments in London Breed history.
There's no such thing.
This was when, again, she's the mayor of San Francisco. She put the mask policies in place for her city. It was her decision that if you're going to go out to a nightclub, you have to wear a mask. Well, she went to a nightclub. She got busted not wearing a mask, and her excuse was, it was the Tony reunion concert.
I don't know about you and whether or not you know who Raphael Sadiq and Dwayne Wiggins are, but I don't know about you, but if you know who they are, I don't care where you're sitting. You're going to get up and start dancing. My drink was sitting at the table. I got up and started dancing because I was feeling the spirit. And I wasn't thinking about a mask. I was thinking about having a good time. And let me tell you, when the spirit moves you because you are watching history in the making, Bay Area royalty perform, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to turn around and look for where my mask is.
The hypocrisy of the mask is stunning there.
It was dripping with hypocrisy. I mean, it's the total antithesis of what they were preaching to us the whole time about masks.
And she was just putting it in your face. I wasn't thinking about wearing a mask.
You ever heard of Raphael Sadiq, for God's sake?
And that's the other thing. I think we're making too big of a deal out of Tony here. I liked It Feels Good. That was a solid song. It was okay. Anniversary was fun. Okay. I get it. But she's talking about Tony like the damn Beatles had a reunion
I was
concert.
going to say, maybe I can understand if she was like watching an Eagles reunion or something like that. But Tony?
Tony. It's Tony.
It's Tony.
Don't fall into that trap.
Sorry.
Tony.
I fell into the
They've done it again.
Tone trap.
We got some vaccine stuff. Hit me with some of that.
Okay.
Pharmacies, antibodies, side effects, vaccine stuff. Shot. Everybody. The World Health Organization urging, they're not just asking, they're urging countries to reconsider giving healthy kids and teenagers COVID-19 shots, Nige.
I'm sorry, they're urging countries to give kids the shots?
Oh, no. To reconsider giving healthy kids and teenagers the shot.
This is the WHO, the WHO, World Health Organization?
Correct.
So at a time and place where the United States is literally pushing kids to get the vaccine, kids who are not at risk of COVID at all, especially risk of dying of COVID. This is like, I feel like the United States is like a little bit behind the times here, because even Canada, even countries in Europe aren't even recommending vaccines for adults under a certain age. It's crazy. Now you have the WHO, a corrupt organization who was waiting for China to get their stuff together so they could tell the world what to do and how to mitigate COVID. They were waiting for them to kind of, when COVID broke out, oh no, it's not contagious. You don't need a mask. And then finally, once China was able to hide the evidence, blame it on the wet market. I don't trust a thing that the WHO says, but this falls in line with what everything else is happening all around the world in terms of quote unquote recommending kids. They're not banning kids. But we are the only country, it seems, that are still doing this. That are still pushing those COVID vaccines on kids.
Think about what this country, the United States, is doing to kids. Oh, you're healthy? You're strong? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go get that vaccine anyway? And if you have time, tell the doctor to change your sex while you're in there, too. Get it all done together. Get the vaccine, cut off your crank. You're going to be fine. This is what we're doing to our kids in this country. And when you say it out loud sometimes, it's ridiculous. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hubler has it, savings. Hubler has it, choices.
Hubler really does have it all. All of our pre-owned vehicles are Hubler Q certified, which include a 128-point vehicle inspection, a free Carfax vehicle history report, and 2 warranties. A 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and a 30-day, 1,000-mile comprehensive warranty. Visit any of our 13 locations today, or click drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Discover how to save more of your hard-earned money. Listen to WIBC this Saturday from 5 to 6 a.m. for secure retirement tips from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. This Saturday, 5 to 6 a.m. on WIBC.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
The latest local news.
Will get any
Commentary from Tony Katz,
care about decency.
Kendall and Casey,
5.6%.
Hammer and Nigel.
Biden.
Podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever. Online at WIBC.com.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. Everyone loves a smart investment, and there is no better place to put your money right now than in your home. Window Nation has the perfect offer for anyone with a home at least 20 years old. Protect and increase the value of your home and energy efficiency by installing new Window Nation windows. Window Nation is making it insanely easy to do so with 0% interest for 5 years. Plus, Window Nation will give you 2 windows free with every 2 you purchase.
Go with the window company that has installed nearly 2 million windows, including mine, by installers with over a decade of experience using only top-of-the-line installation materials, which is why 96% of all installations require no follow-up service. Call Window Nation today and lock in these limited-time savings when you need them the most. 866-90-NATION and pay 0 interest for 5 years. The life of your loan, and get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. All right, we have got some concert tickets to give to you. Caller number 9 right now. Your chance to play a fun little game for Goo Goo Dolls tickets. Goo Goo Dolls coming to White River State Park Wednesday, August 23rd. Caller number 9. Fun game is waiting for you. 239-9393. That's 239-9393, Matt Bear.
All right, northbound 65 Johnson County stopped after State Road 44 Franklin. Up past Whiteland Road, still cleaning up and doing repairs from the tornado, so the right lane is blocked around Whiteland Road. Also, eastbound 465 stop and go, Keystone to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we have got perfect weather, but that's going to change. 70 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, but tonight, the weather could get a little nasty. Marcus Bailey of Wish TV, the meteorologist, will join us coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock. But right now, let's play a spirited round of Goo Goo or Gaga. And this is how we're going to do it. So we've got caller number 9.
Goo Goo or Gaga?
Yes, Goo Goo or Gaga. Matthew is standing by right now. Matthew, how you doing?
Guys.
Matthew, you got me?
I got you now.
All right, there we go. All right, so Goo Goo Dolls are coming. We got tickets courtesy of Live Nation. You got to get 3 out of 5 correct. This is how the game works. I'm going to give you a little piece of information. It will either be about the band The Goo Goo Dolls or about Lady Gaga. You get 3 out of 5 correct, we're going to send you to the concert, okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Once dated Fox News host Kennedy and allegedly wrote the song Name about her. Goo Goo or Gaga?
Goo Goo.
Goo Goo is correct, yes.
I won't call him your name.
Little Johnny Resnick right there.
Huge monster hit for them.
Goo Goo or Gaga is in the upcoming Joker movie.
That would be Lady Gaga, who looks amazing in that movie.
Yeah, she's the Harley Quinn character in the upcoming Joker movie. All right, one more, and we're going to give you the tickets here. Got to get this one right. Goo Goo or Gaga formed in 1986 in Buffalo, New York, and one of their biggest hits is Slide.
Oh, man, this is going to be a toughie. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Goo Goo Dolls?
Goo Goo Dolls! There we go! Yay! Matthew, you, my friend, have got 2 tickets. You're going to go see the Goo Goo Dolls in OAR, White River State Park, Wednesday, August 23rd. Fun night downtown. Tickets courtesy of Live Nation. And again, these are the rules, Matthew. Since you won the tickets, whoever you take has to drive.
Sounds like a plan to me. You don't have to bend my arm.
Right on. Stay on the line. Let Allison get some information from you, okay?
Okay.
Nige, people are mocking a woman who took to TikTok to frantically explain a situation where a random guy approached her in a parking lot and said, "Excuse me, ma'am."
Here is Danielle Mitchell explaining the interaction that went down.
I'm literally shaking. I am alone with my son, by myself, a woman, and a male approached me in a parking lot. He's, "Excuse me, miss," and I don't know why in the hell he was approaching me or what he was trying to do. And I mean, he was probably 30 feet from me when he said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I turned around and I literally yelled at him and I said, "Do not approach me. No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot."
Excuse me, ma'am, have you seen my dog running around? It's lost. Excuse me, ma'am, have you seen my 5-year-old little boy? He's running around the park. Like, what is she talking about? He was 30 feet away?
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am, do not approach me!
Why are people like that?
I mean, I understand you have to have your head on a swivel, and you have to look. I mean, I understand all of that. If you're a woman and you're by yourself with your baby, and somebody is acting maybe in a particularly threatening manner,
right?
Then okay, but it sounds to me, and she's being mocked online for this,
as she should be, as she should be. Ridiculous.
Excuse me, man, you dropped your purse.
What did you just call me? I mean, that's like the lunatic that I held the door open for at McDonald's that one time, just completely snapping and flying off the deep end.
How did that go down again?
Well, I'm walking up to McDonald's, Chris and I, there's a woman coming up and I hold the door. I don't need a man to hold the door for me.
And I'm sure because you had your son there, you were very calm and collected and very careful with your words.
I told her, F you. F you. We could have made this honorary booze news as well here,
wow.
Nige. We did booze news earlier.
Yeah.
I love this story because this sounds like something you would do.
Oh, great.
A dad has to go pick his son up from school when he accidentally packed a beer in his lunch. He thought it was a can of sparkling water. Here is Will Myers explaining the mix-up.
Well, I got to go pick up my kid from school today because I made a big mistake. You see, one of these is sparkling water, and he likes for me to pack that in his lunch. One of these is not sparkling water. Although it looks like sparkling water can, it is not sparkling water. Therefore, I've got to go pick up my kid from school and try to explain this situation.
Sir, can you come get your son? It seems he packed a White Claw for lunch, and... you know what? My buddy's mom, that happened to her one time when she was packing her lunch. She worked, I forget where she worked, but she sat down and for lunch and started taking things out of her bag, and she took out a Bud Light instead of a Pepsi and just cracked it open. Like her coworkers were all sitting around like, you know, what are you doing, Nan? What are you doing? And she took a drink of it and sort of like literally spit it out. She thought it was Pepsi and not a Bud.
Meanwhile, across the room, Kid Rock is staring daggers at her for cracking open that Bud Light. How dare you? All right, we could have some nasty weather.
Boy.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV. He joins us next.
Tired of eating at the same old places? Try Jay's Lobster and Fish Market in the Garage Food Hall in the Bottle Works District, downtown Indy. Named one of Indianapolis Monthly's best restaurants in 2021. Jay's specializes in lobster rolls, but also serves up incredible crab and shrimp rolls. A New England-style seafood shack, bringing a taste of the East Coast home to Indiana. You've got to try it all. Lobster rolls, lobster mac and cheese, lobster grilled cheese, and more. It's all at Jay's Lobster and Fish Market. Visit today.
That kitchen or bath remodel you've been ready to start? With inflation rising, waiting is just going to make it more expensive. Start that remodel today. Hey, it's Tony Katz for Booher Remodeling. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. Get on the schedule now to avoid some of those price increases. Booher Remodeling is the finest remodeler in central Indiana with the best materials and most skilled craftsmen. They'll guide you through the entire process to make your vision come to life. Go to BooherRemodeling.com to set up your free consultation. BooherRemodeling.com.
Are your investments going nowhere? Here's a tip that always pays big dividends. Invest in yourself, your talent, your smarts, your skills. Maybe it's time to make that investment and start a career in IT or upskill to boost your current career. At My Computer Career, you can bank on us. We'll help you get the right skills and the right certifications to start or advance your IT career. IT keeps growing, so go with the growth at My Computer Career. The right training, the right timing, the right career. Invest in you at mycomputercareer.edu. Start now.
It's the NRA annual meetings and exhibits at the Indiana Convention Center April 14th to 16th. This 3-day event features over 14 acres of the latest guns and gear from the most popular companies in the industry. With entertainment and special events, make plans now for a freedom-filled weekend with activities for the entire family. NRA members and their family get in free. If you're not a member, join online or at the door. Go to nraam.org for more information. That's nraam.org.
The reason I've been with Exercise Inc. for so long, it's been a number of years now, is because it gets me the physical strength my body needs, the physical exercise my body craves, and it's all done in 20 minutes a week. It is not an easy workout. Don't let the 20 minutes fool you. It's tough. But the other thing is, with Exercise Inc., your personal trainer, your coach, helps you outside the gym with your health goals, whether it be losing weight, helping you out with your diet and eating habits and routines. They keep you accountable, not just inside the gym, but all during the week as well. The studio is private. They never have more than 3 or 4 clients in at a time. If you want to go on your lunch break, the studio is always 61 degrees, so you never sweat. You get your workout in 20 minutes and go right back to work without ever having to shower. I built muscle. I lost weight. You can see a bunch of success stories at exerciseinc.com. They have 4 locations, Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, and Zionsville. Change your life in 20 minutes a week with Exercise Inc.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Have you noticed that most ice creams now come in smaller cartons? Not Bluebell. We're still making a full half-gallon and a full pint of tasty goodness. Bluebell wouldn't have it any other way.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Meijer stores. Overcoming drug addiction is difficult. The road to recovery is different for everyone. Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
Ready to get your business the help it deserves? Find out if it qualifies for ERC assistance in less than 8 minutes. Up to $26,000 per employee could be waiting. Go to getrefunds.com to get started.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what you need to know about another round of severe storms headed to Indiana, why students at Beech Grove High School had to evacuate today, and early voting started today in Indiana. John Herrick has that story. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. The Trump indictment is unsealed on Lisa Brady. The former president arrested and then arraigned at criminal court in Lower Manhattan, pleading not guilty to 34 counts.
They're felony charges for falsifying business records in New York, and then also within that, using those records to help suppress a story that may have done damage to his campaign.
Fox News federal law enforcement producer Jake Gibson was in the courtroom.
Mr. Trump walked in. Former President Trump walked in. He seemed to have a bit of a swagger. He looked stoic. He looked stone-faced. He pled not guilty. He said not guilty. At some point, the prosecution brought up all of the social media posts that he has put out recently.
Prosecutors accusing Trump of trying to incite violence.
His attorney said that, look, this case they've been investigating this for 3 years. There's been selective leaks that are harming former President Trump, and it's unthinkable that he wouldn't be allowed to defend himself. That is their way of justifying his posts.
At this point, the judge declining to impose a gag order. Prosecutors want the case to go to trial next January, just ahead of primary season. The defense objected to that, and they plan to file a variety of motions, including efforts to toss out the case. The judge says he wants to move expeditiously, but the next court date is set for December 4th. Trump is now heading to the airport to go back to Florida, where he plans a speech at Mar-a-Lago tonight. Earlier today, calling the judge and the venue unfair in social media posts. Each of the felony counts against him has a a maximum penalty of 4 years in prison, meaning he could face 136 years if convicted on all counts. A winning streak is snapped on Wall Street. The Dow down 253 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
More storms on the way, mostly cloudy, 74 degrees in downtown Indy. Your radar shows a small rain cloud southwest of downtown. Other than that, it's clear. Temps drop to the lower 60s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. You should be ready for some severe storms tomorrow.
During the daytime hours tomorrow, that severe weather is likely. Whether that's during the morning or afternoon is going to be very dependent on what happens tonight.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service. He says if there are storms tonight, that severe weather will be pushed back later in the day tomorrow.
With these storms, damaging winds are the most likely threat. Large hail is also possible with this. And then again, we're in that situation where we definitely cannot rule out tornadoes.
If those storms don't move through tonight, then expect them to hit in the morning. Beech Grove High School, which is south of Indianapolis, was evacuated this afternoon because of concerns about a smoke-related issue, says the school. 21 members of students and staff mentioned some smoke inhalation concerns, but a physician on site did not recommend anyone needed to be sent to the hospital. What caused the problem is still being investigated. A man was sent to the hospital this morning after he was beaten at the Serenity Manor apartment complex near 16th and Shadeland on the east side. Officers say the man was found in his apartment around 4 a.m. He told police 3 men rushed in with a shotgun, shot him, and ran away. He later changed that story, told police he was beaten up and there were no guns involved at all. That man's in the hospital. Officers are still investigating. Early voting has started in Indiana. If you'd like to take part, there are a few things you need to know. John Herrick reports.
This means that as long as you are a registered voter, you are welcome to vote early for the May 2nd primary. To cast an early ballot, you need to present a valid photo ID. To find an early voting location near you, go to indianavoters.in.gov. You can also cast your ballot by mail if you meet the absentee by mail requirements and complete an application by April 20th. To see a full list of those requirements, go to in.gov. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price for gas in Indiana today, $3.57 per gallon. That's according to GasBuddy.com, and down a penny from where it was Monday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison, Johnson County, northbound 65 is 63 minutes right now from State Road 44 up to Whiteland Road. That's about 6 miles. And just about the whole thing is stopped here at the moment. It is some maintenance, repairs being made from last weekend's storms and tornadoes. And right now the right lane is blocked on northbound to Whiteland Road. Southwest side, southbound 465 stops from 70 to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. Get 50% off tax prep at Jackson Hewitt. Limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max savings $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Clouds increase for tonight. Showers and storms in the early morning. Low temperature is 65 degrees. Wednesday brings the chance at strong storms and multiple waves. High temperature of 73 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. We'll go straight to the drive. Town Hotline and bring on Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Marcus, definitely want to touch on what happened in Indy late Friday night, early Saturday morning. I was watching you into the wee hours of the morning. I definitely want to go back to that in just a second, but tell us what we can expect tonight and when.
Okay, so we got another round of storms. You heard Ryan talk about it in his forecast. There's going to be some differences with this because I've seen a lot of people trying to kind of compare this to Friday, but there's going to be a lot of differences, I think, especially in terms of timing. We're already starting to see some tornado watches out in Iowa and western Illinois, and we'll probably see some later in Missouri and Arkansas. The difference with this system is it is not as fast-moving or progressing to the east nearly as quick as the Friday system did, where we ended up getting that in the very late-night hours Friday and early morning hours Saturday. We may not see really much activity, to be honest with you guys, until, maybe closer to daybreak on Wednesday. And I think it kind of comes in a couple of waves. You're going to get one, and there's still some subject to change on timing, and there's some confusion with that. But probably in the morning hours, and which could impact the morning drive. And I think that severe weather threat, while it's not zero, it's lower. All right, where damaging wind is going to be a possibility. And maybe some hail. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but I think the threat for that morning wave is pretty low. And then I think you really kind of ramp things up with the potential for an afternoon. And when I'm thinking right now afternoon, maybe in the early to mid-afternoon time frame as the cold front finally kind of makes its way through the state tomorrow afternoon. And that's when really you kind of ramp up all modes. Wind is still going to be the primary threat, but there is also an elevated threat for maybe some tornadoes and also some larger hail as well. So bottom line, really from the minute you kind of get going for your Wednesday until we are done with the day and get past sunset, you need to be on alert and make sure you have a way that you can get alerts and warnings throughout the day.
And Marcus, what we saw last weekend, again, not to compare these two, is that these storms that happen when a lot of people are asleep are a big problem here. And we've seen that from the horrific tornadoes that cost lives down in Mississippi, across the South. And then last weekend here, these storms that come in late at night, it's dark, you can't get a good feel on what's happening with the skies. And sometimes by the time you realize what's happening, it's too late.
Right. Well, I mean, you look back to Friday, you had no visual on really any of the tornadoes that actually happened, right? And that's what you kind of hope for. Sometimes you get a lot of these trained and educated storm spotters that are scattered all over the state when you get into severe weather modes like this. Radar is really good. And it did a really good job on Friday on picking up on some of the rotation and even in the debris when some of the damage was being done. But you can't beat eye confirmation. And you're just to your point, when you're getting into nocturnal events, you have no visual on that. And so it makes it dangerous. And to add to that point, Hammer, yes, you worry about the overnight events because people are sleeping. But especially because it's a Friday night, you're gearing up to the weekend. I think the last thing that people want to worry about when you're gearing into a weekend is severe weather and that kind of stuff. People are kind of trying to wind down the work week and stuff like that. So that made it even more difficult that we wanted to make sure that word was getting out and people were staying aware because it was a late night event leading into a weekend.
Yesterday, we mainly concentrated on the victims and raising a bunch of money for the people that were affected by the storms and tornadoes in Indiana. I definitely, want to keep them, foremost in our thoughts. But I am curious as to your staff. I stayed up, like I said, to the wee hours of the morning watching the rest of your staff cover this storm. I think at some point you've been up at like 24 hours. I think. I'm not sure, but yeah. I woke up on the couch about 2. I go, oh, man, Marcus Bailey is still doing his thing. What was it like for you as a meteorologist and somebody that has to make people aware of their surroundings and warn people about the dangers that are out there ahead of them?
Well, I think that's first and foremost, that's our job, right? Most like 98% of our job, it's fun. We get to go in, especially mine in the morning, we get to joke around and, it's quiet weather and that kind of stuff. But there's that 2% that, this is what we did the schooling for. And we keep up on new technology and ways to get out alerts, because that's what we got into this job for. At least that's what I did. I will say that, I've covered, I've been doing this for 17 years now, and covered several tornado outbreaks. This one was the first time that I actually had to, because we live down in Johnson County and we're not far from Whiteland. And that was the first time that as I was on air, I had immediate concern for my home, my family that was at home. So we're right there with, the bottom line is, we're right there with everybody else. This is our community, and we want our neighbors to be as safe as you guys want them to be, and your neighbors and everything like that. It's an awesome responsibility that I do not take lightly. And it made for a long day, but if even one person listened to me, it was worth it.
What point on Friday night, Marcus, did you realize that this was about to get bad?
It was pretty early on, honestly. Because I work daybreak on Friday. We're short-staffed now because obviously the great news with Ashley and Tara are new moms, and so they're enjoying their maternity leave. And so, I knew that if something got bad, I'd have to go in. I watched all of the coverage through the afternoon. I probably should have been taking a nap, but I couldn't. I watched everything that was going on in near Memphis and Little Rock, in Iowa, and just kind of watched it slowly progress toward us. It was really that tornado that ended up entering into Sullivan. It was still in Illinois, and you could see it throwing up debris on radar. And I knew at that point, I was like, this is going to be rough. And it ended up being that same storm, guys, that went through Sullivan. That was a separate tornado. It counts as a separate tornado. It ended up being that same storm, though, that kind of went through and did that path and went through Martinsville and ended up going through Johnson County and produced numerous tornadoes. So it was pretty early on that we knew that it could be a pretty rough night.
Marcus Bailey, meteorologist for Wish TV. All right, one more time. What are we looking at for severe weather possibilities overnight tonight and then possibly tomorrow?
So there is a conditional threat for maybe a few storms. We're going to have to watch what kind of happens outside of Missouri and Arkansas later tonight. The thinking is those are going to probably outrun the front and not be much overnight. So Wednesday, you're going to get two waves. First wave, you have a severe threat. It's a lower-end severe threat, damaging wind, the primary concern in the morning hours. We'll say 6 a.m. to probably 9 or 10 a.m. And then the second wave will likely come in anytime after lunchtime tomorrow, and that's going to be the higher-end severe weather threat where all modes of severe weather are in play. Damaging wind, the highest of those, and hail, and there is a threat for tornadoes in that time frame. So bottom line, what we want to stress, not to scare people, we just make sure people are alert through the day. Just make sure you have a way to get warnings. Go about your business, but make sure you have a way to get alerts and get to where you need to go in the event that a warning does take place where you're at.
Well, Marcus, I'm not just saying this because, I've known you for a long time and you've been really good to this program here. Your coverage and your team's coverage on Friday and Saturday was amazing. I was down in southern Indiana watching it on the stream, like Nigel, watching it into the wee hours of the morning here. And you guys brought all the information. There was no rest. There was no breaks. And anybody that watched that, maybe you saved their life. Maybe they knew what was going on, but you did great work, my friend.
I appreciate that. And coming from you guys, that means a lot. And I want to give a quick shout out to you. I listened to you guys all day yesterday, and what you did for the people that are hurting right now is absolutely amazing. And you guys are a blessing to the city and the state, and we certainly appreciate you.
Marcus Bailey, meteorologist, Wish TV. Thank you.
We'll see you guys.
And again, yesterday we raised a lot of money, Nige. Our goal was to raise $1,000 every hour. We thought that would help some people out, just $4,000. The listeners of this radio program, over $11,600.
Unbelievable.
In just a 4-hour span.
Wow.
Now, that's just the money from the Salvation Army. We don't know the money brought into the Red Cross or Kroger checkout lanes just yet. So thank you so much for helping out your fellow Hoosiers in need yesterday. Kind of a last-minute, spur-of-the-moment deal we did, and you guys answered the call. All right, Matt Bear, what's up?
Johnson County, northbound 65 south from Franklin, State Road 44 up to Whiteland Road because of tornado cleanup continuing. The right lane is blocked right now at Whiteland Road on northbound. Southwest side, eastbound, southbound 465 stops before 70 over to the White River. Crash Shadeland Avenue of 46th. Traffic sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. Get 50% off tax prep at Jackson Hewitt. Limited time offer for new clients. Filing at participating locations. Max savings $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Partly cloudy, 76 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. We are keeping our eye on the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, stepping up to the microphone. He's got some comments. We're going to share those with you coming up here at about 4:35. Again, we're all over the Trump story, 34 felony counts, and we've got that story all afternoon. But Is This Anything is next.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month, with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses, with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 4/4/23. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Indianapolis is under attack, at war with rampant crime, drugs, and homelessness. But Mayor Hogsett is unwilling to join the fight. In fact, under Mayor Hogsett, Indianapolis now has a murder rate higher than Chicago. Do you feel safe knowing that? But Jefferson Shreve is ready to take back Indianapolis. Jefferson Shreve will put more cops on the street and give them the support they need. We don't have to live like this. Jefferson Shreve is ready to rebuild, restore, and reimagine Indianapolis. He's a winner in business, so he knows how to lead a team to turn things around. No more empty talk. It's time for action. Because another term for Mayor Hogsett is another 4 years of the same problems, only worse. This may send Hogsett a message. Vote for Jefferson Shreve for a change. Paid for by Shreve for Mayor.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for plenty of advice and fun, brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and foundation, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play Is This Anything?
I will run a couple different stories by you. You break down all the information, and you tell us if the story is anything or not. We start with this. It's the arrest that everybody's talking about. It's all over the place. It's wall to wall. A woman in Los Angeles has been arrested after attempting to steal a car that was armed with the 1980s product, the club. Remember the club, the little red handle thing you put on your steering wheel?
You stretch it out on your steering wheel so you can't turn it.
Correct.
Yeah, and it locks in place.
A woman in L.A. arrested after attempting to steal a car that was locked with the club. When trying to escape from the situation, she ended up hitting multiple cars and injuring 2 people.
Yeah.
Here is the attempted carjacking taking place and the woman who apprehended the carjacker talking about what happened.
She tried to bail out of the vehicle. When she did this, she stepped on here, slipped, and that's when myself and the other 2 gentlemen being interviewed got on top of her, tied her hands with a bandana, tied her shoes together, and stayed on top of her until police came to get her.
Oh, that's awesome. A citizen's arrest.
Citizen's arrest!
Citizen's arrest! And you watch this video, it's crazy because the car can only go backwards and forwards. She's trying to escape, but she can't turn it because of the club.
The club.
She tried this genius tried to carjack a woman who still had the club in place. So she was just going backwards and forwards, and you heard all this commotion, and people going, "Oh my God!" Oh, and then eventually they did the right thing, pulled her out of the car, and were able to subdue this person until the police arrived. Citizens arrest!
Citizens arrest! I remember those club commercials. Now, I've not seen one in a long time.
Apparently, people still use them.
Like, I didn't know they were still in business, but I'm sure there are places where you can still find the club. Man, infomercials that I remember were the club, I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up for Medic Alert, and then my favorite of all time was Freedom Rock. Freedom Rock, the album. Hey, man, is that Freedom Rock? Well, turn it up, man. I love Freedom Rock, and I love the club.
What about, did you mention I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up?
Yes.
Did you mention that? Okay.
Yes. Yep. We've got that one.
All right.
Is this anything? This happened last month
The clapper.
Oh, that's right.
Clap on, clap off, the clapper. It's this old broad in bed, this old lady.
And she clapped so hard, I'm surprised she didn't break her wrist.
She's like, I got this annoyed look on her face, like.
Chia.
There it is. Yeah.
There's another one, Chia Pet.
Chia Pets are still around, man.
They've gotten cute with the Chia Pets now. Like, the coupon lady at home has a Chia Pet that's of the Golden Girls, and you grow stuff out of the Golden Girls' hair. It was like a gag gift she got, but yeah, they make
still work.
There's a Chia Trump where you can get a face of Donald Trump, and the Chia Pet grows up, and it's like his blondish whatever it is hair.
Here I've got the footage retweet. I just found it. Retweet the woman that's trying to carjack the car with the club. I've just retweeted that. If you'd like to go to our Twitter at Hammer and Nigel, it's pretty nuts, and I'm lucky nobody was seriously injured.
And Allison, if you could get into the Hammer and Nigel folder and find Freedom Rock, I think we've got that in there somewhere. Of all the late night albums that they used to have infomercials for, there was like the rhythm and the blues and like love songs and things like that. Freedom Rock was by far my favorite. It was these 2 guys acting like hippies, and they're sitting outside of this like shaggin' wagon. Do we have that, Allison?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, is that Freedom Rock? Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Oh, I love that so much.
Turn it up.
When I become the governor, if you ask someone, hey, man, is that Freedom Rock? And they don't respond with turn it up, you go to Guantanamo. I'm going to make that happen. Is this anything? This happened last month on Mount Baker in the state of Washington. A skier saw a brightly colored snowboard sticking out of the deep snow. He went to investigate and found that the snowboarder was buried head first in the snow, but still alive. Here he is digging through the snow and saving this guy's life. The whole thing was captured on his GoPro.
Hold on, I'm coming. Hey, you all right? Can you hear me? You okay? You all right? Okay, you're good. You're good, I got you. You okay? Can you breathe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. We're both gonna catch our breath for a sec. I'm gonna help dig you out, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Okay, you all right?
Wow.
I'm good.
Okay. I'm gonna back up for a second, get my shovel out, okay?
Thank you.
You're good, man. You good?
I'm good.
Okay, good.
I mean, that's got to be an awful way to die. You get buried alive in an avalanche, and nobody finds you. I think it would have made a better story, though, if the guy that found him was taking a leak, and he just happened to be, he stopped on his skis. Oh man, this would be a good place to take a leak, and all of a sudden you hear, "Hey, you're peeing all over me. Can you help me down here? I need a little help."
Tim, is that you? Tim?
You just peed all over my face.
Thought you were dead. No,
I'm just being peed on. Can you please stop?
Either way, he's alive, right?
Sure.
The story doesn't really change.
Of course.
Is this anything? CBS Sports announcer Jim Nantz signed off last night. The championship game last night between Connecticut and San Diego was his final NCAA championship basketball game that he's going to call. Take a listen to his parting words.
Guys, another loss.
We're at a loss.
We're at a loss for sure.
The GOAT.
Just remember, one thing I learned through all of this is everybody has a dream and everybody has a story to tell. Just try to find that story. Be kind.
You told it better than most, let me tell you.
Can I tell you one other thing? I mean this, not to try to play off Hello Friends, but to you, everybody in the college game, my CBS family, my family, all the viewers, thank you for being my friend.
Yeah, he always starts out his broadcast with, "Hello, friends, I'm Jim Nantz." Now, he's not completely retiring, but he is an iconic broadcaster and announcer.
Right.
He's still doing the Masters. He's still going to call football games. He's just not going to be doing the Final Fours, the NCAA tournaments anymore, just because he wants to spend time with his family. And I didn't even know, did you know that was happening? I didn't even know that Jim Nantz was leaving until I was watching Saturday. They paid tribute to him Saturday before the Final Four games. And I had no clue that this was going to be his last time announcing the Final Four.
That Jim Nantz soundbite you just heard was the only good thing about that game last night. What a turd of a game. Congrats to UConn, but what a turd. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
The more people I have working behind the scenes on my retirement, the better. There's a massive team working for clients at Howard Bailey Financial. They are helping people navigate their retirement goals, people that want to retire with purpose, people that want to have time to enjoy life with Howard Bailey Financial at the helm.
What does your vision of retirement look like? Is that full-on retirement? Is it a work optional lifestyle, living in Indy, moving to Florida, whatever your vision is, let the team from Howard Bailey customize a plan specifically for you. Everybody is different. Everyone's visions of retirement is different. That's why they customize a plan specifically for your needs. If you're ready to live your best life in retirement, go see the Howard Bailey difference. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities, LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Pat Sullivan here. April showers can bring plumbing downers. Don't get caught in a leak this spring. Make sure your sump pump is working properly to avoid any damage. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains. During the month of April, my friends at Hope Plumbing will buy back your old sump pump for $300 with the purchase of an upgraded sump pump and a new battery backup system. Call Hope Plumbing today or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Hubler has it, savings. Hubler has it, choices.
Hubler really does have it all. All of our pre-owned vehicles are Hubler Q certified, which include a 128-point vehicle inspection, a free Carfax vehicle history report, and 2 warranties. A 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and a 30-day, 1,000-mile comprehensive warranty. Visit any of our 13 locations today, or click drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's been unsealed, 76 degrees, a few clouds on the circle. You've got a clear radar. There are chances for rain tonight, low of 68 later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. The indictment against former President Trump has been unsealed. He faces dozens of charges related to a series of hush money payments made to a former adult actress before the 2016 presidential election. And it also included a doorman who may have been paid to keep quiet about a story claiming Trump fathered a child out of wedlock. Trump pled not guilty on all the charges of falsifying business records to conceal criminal conduct. More storms are expected in Indiana tonight and tomorrow.
We are expecting that strong thunderstorm system will bring showers, thunderstorms in multiple rounds. Initial round most likely being during the morning hours, with that second round being during the afternoon.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service. Indiana is under an enhanced risk for severe weather, meaning the threat of heavy winds, hail, and even a tornado are all in play. Beech Grove High School, which is south of Indianapolis, was evacuated this afternoon because of concerns about a smoke-related issue, say the school. 21 members of students and staff mentioned some smoke inhalation concerns, but a physician on site did not recommend that anybody needed to be sent to the hospital. What caused the problem is still under investigation. President Biden will meet with science and technology advisors today to discuss the risks and opportunities of artificial intelligence.
There's a comprehensive process that is underway to ensure a cohesive federal government approach to AI-related risks and opportunities.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the president will discuss the impact of AI on individual society and national security. 4 new solar power plants are likely to be built in northern Indiana soon. Kurt Darling reports.
Indiana Michigan Power has asked state regulators in both states to approve a plan to build the plants with a goal of supplying solar power to upwards of 200,000 homes by 2026. INM wants to invest over $1 billion in 2 of the 4 plants alone. The utility COO says that the solar plants are also needed because they plan to retire their natural gas power generating plant in Rockport in southern Indiana. INM says this is all part of their goal for zero carbon emissions by 2045. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And your stock report, the Dow finishing down 198 today to 33,402. The Nasdaq down 63 to 12,126, and the S&P 500 dropping 23 points to 4,100. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Here's something you won't hear from any other jeweler. Right now, when you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct, we'll give you a free gold setting for it. Yes, a 14-karat classic solitaire setting in white gold or yellow gold at no charge with any natural diamond purchase. So all your money can go toward a bigger diamond while you still get the classic look she wants in that engagement ring. Another example of Diamonds Direct's extraordinary value. Or if you want to take it up to the next level, Diamonds Direct also has a fantastic selection of halo, pave, vintage, 3-stone, and other popular mountings. Or maybe she wants a designer ring, like the one she's seen on social media. Well, Diamonds Direct has those too. In fact, we are an authorized retailer for all the top designers from New York and California. Whichever setting you choose, you'll also be able to choose your finance plan. Diamonds Direct now has a wide range of finance options with attractive rates and terms up to 60 months, so you can get the ideal setting to fit your style with the ideal payment to fit your budget. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Store hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
But traffic at 4:35. Here's Matt Baer.
Johnson County northbound 65 is stopped for 5 miles from State Road 44 to Whiteland Road. At Whiteland, the right lane is blocked for storm cleanup. Also looking at eastbound 70 stop and go Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois. And on the southwest side, ugly delay here. Southbound 465 stopped. Sam Jones over to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the big green egg. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Clouds increase for tonight. Showers and storms in the early morning. Low temperature is 65 degrees. Wednesday brings the chance at strong storms and multiple waves. High temperature of 73 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So Trump pleading not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records linked to the hush money payments. The judge did not impose a gag order. Looking through some of these indictments, it's pretty underwhelming. And really, shortly thereafter, this is the first time we've heard from the district attorney, Alvin Bragg.
What are you laughing at, Nige? Something funny to you?
The theme music coming in, the intro.
Turn it up, Allison. If we're going to have a party, let's have a party.
Gonna have a night now.
This is Bill Cosby.
So like I say, this is the first time we've heard from Fat Alvin in quite a while.
So he stepped up to the podium. Correction. He waddled up to the podium, looked the cameras right in the face, and these are the comments of New York's district attorney.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here today. Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned on a New York Supreme Court indictment returned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about. 34 false statements made to cover up other crimes. These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. The defendant repeatedly made false statements on New York business records. He also caused others to make false statements. The defendant claimed that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017. This simply was not true. And it was a false statement that the defendant made month after month in 2017. April, May, June, and so on through the rest of the year. For 9 straight months, the defendant held documents in his hand containing this key lie, that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017. And he personally signed checks for payments to Michael Cohen for each of these 9 months. In total, the grand jury found there were 34 documents with this critical false statement. Why did Donald Trump repeatedly make these false statements? The evidence will show that he did so to cover up crimes relating to the 2016 election. Donald Trump, executives at the publishing company American Media Incorporated, Mr. Cohen, and others agreed in 2015 to a catch and kill scheme. That is, a scheme to buy and suppress negative information to help Mr. Trump's chance of winning the election. As part of this scheme, Donald Trump and others made 3 payments to people who claimed to have negative information about Mr. Trump. To make these payments, they set up shell companies, and they made yet more false statements, including, for example, in AMI, American Media Incorporated's business records. One of the 3 people that they paid to keep quiet was a woman named Stormy Daniels. Less than 2 weeks before the presidential election, Michael Cohen wired $130,000 to Stormy Daniels' lawyer. That payment was to hide damaging information from the voting public. The participant scheme was illegal. The scheme violated New York election law, which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means. The $130,000 wire payment exceeded the federal campaign contribution cap, and the false statements in AMI's books violated New York law. That is why Mr. Trump made false statements about his payments to Mr. Cohen. He cannot simply say that the payments were a reimbursement for Mr. Cohen's payments to Stormy Daniels. To do so, to make that true statement, would have been to admit a crime. So instead, Mr. Trump said that he was paying Mr. Cohen for fictitious legal services in 2017 to cover up actual crime committed the prior year. And in order to get Michael Cohen his money back, they planned one last false statement. In order to complete the scheme, they planned to mischaracterize the repayments to Mr. Cohen as income to the New York State tax authorities. The conduct I just described and that which was charged by the grand jury is felony criminal conduct in New York State. True and accurate business records are important everywhere, to be sure. They are all the more important in Manhattan, the financial center of the world. That is why we have a history in the Manhattan DA's office of vigorously enforcing white-collar crime. My office, including the talented prosecutors you saw at arraignment earlier today, has charged hundreds of felony falsifying business records. This charge, it can be said, is the bread and butter of our white-collar work. And fraud presents itself in all different forms here in Manhattan. We have charged falsifying business records for those who violated federal bank secrecy laws. We have charged falsifying business records for those who were seeking to cover up sex crimes. And we have brought this charge for those who committed tax violations. At its core, this case today is one with allegations like so many of our white-collar cases. Allegations that someone lied again and again to protect their interests and evade the laws to which we are all held accountable. As this office has done time and time again, we today uphold our solemn responsibility to ensure that everyone stands equal before the law. No amount of money and no amount of power changes that enduring American principle. I'll now take questions.
Okay, you can wrap that up.
We can wrap it up. You can't hear the reporters that are asking the questions in this press conference. So it's basically everything we talked about, hush money payments, whether or not that was illegal, whether or not that was a campaign finance violation. And that's what it's come to here. A porn star, payments to a porn star.
34 felonies is what they're saying here.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. It's all for every entry for in this ledger associated with the payoffs. They had the intent to defraud. It gets into the
legal
weeds.
stuff.
It really just kind of gets into the weeds. But I'm not sure who was defrauded here. We have two people making a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. What was the crime exactly? To have an affair or a fling, and then that somehow is contributing to your campaign?
Well, after hearing that press conference from the district attorney Bragg, Donald Trump's legal team issued a statement on what they heard from Alvin Bragg.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's Trump's legal team responding to Fat Alvin.
And again, this is everything we thought that Alvin Bragg was bringing to the table. This is exactly what we told you it would be. And keeping someone silent in exchange for money is not illegal.
No.
It's not.
No.
It just isn't. And
trying to connect the dots into making that a felony, into falsifying a document, which goes into, your campaign violations. good luck with this. It feels like, and we said this earlier, just the process alone, because you're not getting a mugshot. There's no mugshot, no handcuffs, no perk walk. You're not getting any of that. The process now has to become the crime. This has to be good enough for the political left. And the Anderson Coopers and the Rachel Maddows and all these people, they're going to have to just look at the process and know that Donald Trump was arrested, and that's going to have to be it. And because of that, Fat Alvin, for the rest of his life, can say, I was the guy that brought charges on Trump. He will get paid to speak on college campuses. He's going to have a very cush gig being the legal expert on CNN, assuming he doesn't take his pants off on a Zoom call. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This is another ad about hiring. But it's not just another ad about hiring. R.E. Diamond & Associates has opened a special position, a construction project manager, for the right person. If you're well-versed in all construction methodologies and procedures, MEPT, and have an analytical mind, this might be the right fit for you. If you bring the experience, deep understanding of the construction process, and outstanding communication skills, R.E. Diamond will meet you with competitive pay, a great benefits package, and a work culture and environment that's second to none.
Hi, this is James Darnell, Vice President of Information and Communications Technology with R.E. Diamond & Associates. We were just voted one of the best places to work in Indiana. Our expertise, integrity, and organizational culture make us a great place to continue building your career. We emphasize service and respect for our clients and pride ourselves on having the majority of our clients as repeat ones.
To find out more, Google R.E. Diamond. That's R.E. Diamond. Or to speak with an R.E. Diamond representative, call 317-634-4672.
Make your health a priority this new year and schedule your annual health assessment at Low T Center today. I mean, there's a lot of people out there talking about testosterone, but do your homework and be sure to go to somewhere you could trust. We recommend Low T Center. They exclusively specialize in men's wellness, and they check all your levels. And I'm not just talking about testosterone. They can determine the cause of any symptoms you're having and whether or not you're a candidate for low T or something else like low thyroid or sleep apnea.
Guys, get that annual health assessment taken care of at the Low T Center. The Low T Center, so much more than just testosterone treatments. They can screen you for a number of things. They can check prostate levels, thyroid issues, liver, kidney functions, cholesterol, glucose levels, and more. And the best part, it's covered by most health insurance. So set up a time right now. Make that appointment at thelowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Life is all about enjoying the little moments. Don't miss out on them because of unexpected heart issues. At Community Health Network, you receive heart care you can trust. From simple screenings to life-saving diagnostic and interventional cardiology services, we offer it all, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Learn more about our services at ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number? Not me. Nope. Nuh-uh. Oh no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Woodard M. Hart, Henry, Reeves, and Wagner. Over 140 years specializing exclusively in patent, trademark, trade secret, and copyright law and litigation. On the web at uspatent.com.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
Northbound 65, Johnson County, the construction is cleared. We're still stop and go from State Road 44 Franklin past Whiteland Road, but the right lane has reopened, so we'll get moving. Eastbound 72 downtown, stop and go before halt to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture. Wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got partly cloudy skies, 75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. All this stuff about artificial intelligence, AI, and how it's going to be the end of the world. I'm not sure. I just don't know how I buy that. I'm not sure how much sense that makes to me. How is it going to end the world? Is it going to be like a Terminator thing where AI realizes, it's aware of itself and it's the only threat to humanity is humanity itself, and it gets a hold of the nukes? Is that what they mean by artificial intelligence?
That's one approach, yes. I can't rule that approach out, but I think some people feel like that, one, it could take a lot of jobs. AI could take a lot of people's positions in the workforce, and then more back into your wheelhouse, it could murder you in your sleep. So it's any one of those avenues, Nige, but President Biden preparing to meet with his Council of Advisors on Science and Technology about the risks and the opportunities that AI has in store for the United States.
He's just going to look at him like with that dense, like he's going to be squinting the whole time and not know a thing of what they're talking about. He's just going to look at him like,
AI, Allen Iverson. He was the answer. Anyway. But again, we're getting to the point with AI to where even like kids and teenagers can play around with it, and it's pretty interesting how they can make things sound.
Well, I mean, the artificial intelligence photos released of Donald Trump getting arrested a couple of weeks ago, like him, giving chase to the FBI,
right,
and being thrown to the ground, and then his fake mugshot, which, by the way, again, if you're paying attention, no real mugshot for Donald Trump today during the indictment.
This is what some kid did with his computer. It's an AI, artificial intelligence conversation. Joe Biden speaking to Barack Obama.
If you weigh 99 pounds and eat a pound of nachos, you're now 1% nachos?
What?
If you drop soap on the floor, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty?
Dude, what are you talking about?
Which orange came first, the color or the fruit?
Huh?
If two vegans are arguing, is it considered beef?
Please stop.
If you were born deaf, what language would you thinking? If you get out of the shower clean, how does your towel get dirty?
Wait, what?
If Apple made a car, would it still have windows?
Oh, wait, you got a point there.
Some kid made that. And it sounds like Barack having a conversation with Biden.
And it doesn't even sound like it's a parody of a voice, like, an impressionist, like that outrageous one that our former producer Kyle would do. Hey, Joe, they said Joe. Anyway.
That's more of the slow, tired Biden.
This was like a real, normal conversation. It was hilarious. President Obama just, after one of the jokes, goes, huh?
Got to be honest, I think that's probably how most people speak to Joe Biden. Huh?
Many times throughout the day, on average, how many times do you think the response to something Joe Biden says is, huh? What was that, Mr. President?
Can you imagine being like a new staff member to the White House and like the veterans have to pull you aside? Now, he's going to say a lot of stupid stuff. Just smile, get him an ice cream, tell him it's time to go to bed. It's going to be fine. Huh? What? Coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock here, the latest on the Trump indictment. He's going to speak at Mar-a-Lago tonight, and there's no gag order. So there's a good chance this could be tailgate worthy tonight. It's supposed to be around 8:15, but he's never on time. But no gag order, no mugshot. Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago tonight will get you up to date with everything you need to know about the 45th president of the United States, arraigned today, facing charges, next on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Have you noticed that most ice cream has now come in smaller cartons? Not Bluebell.
we're still making a full half-gallon and a full pint of tasty goodness. Bluebell wouldn't have it any other way.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Meijer stores.
I spend a lot of time in my garage, especially in the spring and summer. There's a TV out there, got the beer fridge, and I like working on stuff. And the only problem was my garage floor was awful. It's an older house. The garage floor had never been taken care of. Galaxy Concrete Coatings came in and within a day made my garage floor look brand new. It's truly out of this world. If you need a new garage floor, don't do anything until you've checked out GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or give them a call for a quote, 751-9070.
Hey folks, it's Abdul, and I'm running for mayor of Indianapolis. Now, I lived in the city for nearly 20 years, and I've seen the city at its best, and I've seen Indy at its worst, and lately, been a lot more worse. Record murders and record potholes. We can't expect different results if we re-elect the same people who are responsible for our city's problems. So go to AbdulForIndy.com and read about our plans to take a tough but smart approach to dealing with crime. Read about our creative approach to dealing with road funding, and learn how we can restore public trust in government. Everyone, regardless of zip code, deserves the right to live in a neighborhood with safe streets and good roads. It's time to try something different. Paid for by Abdul for Indy.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen. To draft an agent for your team, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
This is another ad about hiring. But it's not just another ad about hiring. R.E. Diamond & Associates has opened a special position, a construction project manager for the right person. If you're well-versed in all construction methodologies and procedures, MEPT, and have an analytical mind, this might be the right fit for you. If you bring the experience, deep understanding of the construction process, and outstanding communication skills, R.E. Diamond will meet you with competitive pay, a great benefits package, and a work culture and environment that's second to none.
Hi, this is James Darnell, Vice President of Information and Communications Technology with R.E. Diamond & Associates. We were just voted one of the best places to work in Indiana. Our expertise, integrity, and organizational culture make us a great place to continue building your career. We emphasize service and respect for our clients and pride ourselves on having the majority of our clients as repeat ones.
To find out more, Google R.E. Diamond. That's R.E. Diamond. Or to speak with an R.E. Diamond representative, call 317-634-4672. Tired of eating at the same old places? Try Jay's Lobster and Fish Market in the Garage Food Hall in the Bottle Works District, downtown Indy. Named one of Indianapolis Monthly's best restaurants in 2021. Jay's specializes in lobster rolls, but also serves up incredible crab and shrimp rolls. A New England-style seafood shack, bringing a taste of the East Coast home to Indiana. You've got to try it all. Lobster rolls, lobster mac and cheese, lobster grilled cheese, and more. It's all at Jay's Lobster and Fish Market. Visit today.
Overcoming drug addiction is difficult. The road to recovery is different for everyone. Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Parker Carlson reports on the severe weather expected this week, why students at Beech Grove High School were sent home early today, and John Herrick reports on the starts of early voting in Indiana. All that more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. Arraignment day for Donald Trump on Lisa Brady. The former president pleading not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, all boiling down to false statements made to cover up other crimes.
These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct.
Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg says some of the charges involve a catch-and-kill scheme involving a publishing company.
That is a scheme to buy and suppress negative information to help Mr. Trump's chance of winning the election.
Those charges include hush money payments to Stormy Daniels and others. Bragg says $30,000 was paid to a doorman who claimed to have a story about Trump having a child out of wedlock.
To make these payments, they set up shell companies, and they made yet more false statements, including, for example, in AMI, American Media Incorporated's business records.
Bragg accusing Trump of covering up a violation of campaign finance laws by lying on business records about reimbursement payments to then attorney Michael Cohen. The prosecutor also says some of the evidence wasn't available when his predecessor decided not to bring charges. Trump is on his way back to Florida to give a speech at Mar-a-Lago tonight. He says since news of the indictment first broke, his 2024 campaign has raised over $10 million. His lawyers are preparing motions, but for now, the next scheduled court date isn't until December. Prosecutor is telling the judge they want to go to trial next January, which would be just ahead of the first presidential primaries. Outside the courthouse, a noisy but peaceful day. Supporters and opponents of the former president holding dueling protests. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Not much of a break from that severe weather. 76. A few clouds in downtown Indy. Chances for rain tonight. You've got a mostly clear radar right now. The low drops to 69 degrees later. I'm Harrison Silcox for the Meteorologist Corporation. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Severe weather is expected to arrive tomorrow in 2 rounds, but it all depends on if there's a storm tonight. Parker Carlson reports.
If storms hit tonight, it will cool things down, and you can expect to see the severe weather later into the afternoon. But
if those thunderstorms don't make it all the way into Indiana tonight, we're thinking that the severe threat could start earlier in the day, being more like the 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. time frame for the main severe threat, with some additional thunderstorms possible afterwards.
Andrew White at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says to have a plan in place because the weather on Wednesday could bring damaging winds, hail, and possibly even tornadoes. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Beech Grove High School, which is here south of Indianapolis, was evacuated this afternoon because of concerns about a smoke-related issue, says the school. 21 members of students and staff mentioned some smoke inhalation concerns, but a physician on site did not recommend anyone needed to be sent to the hospital. That number actually up to 22 now. What caused the problem is still being investigated. There was a robbery and someone was shot on the east side this morning. Indy Metro Police say it all happened at a bus stop around 5 a.m. near the intersection of Washington and Rural Streets, not far from Willard Park. Officers say 2 men were robbed. One of them had been shot in the foot. They're now in the hospital. Police are still looking for their suspect. Early voting in Indiana started today. John Herrick reports.
Absentee in-person voting is available for all registered voters with a photo ID at your county clerk's office through May 1st. You can also cast your ballot by mail if you meet the absentee by mail requirements and complete an application by April 20th. The primary election is May 2nd. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price for gas across Indiana today, $3.57 a gallon. That's according to GasBuddy.com, and down 1 cent from yesterday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Meteorologist presents Password. The word is basement.
Musty.
Shoes.
No. Damp.
Hair.
Try, subterranean.
Ooh, tunnel.
Smelly.
Burps.
Sheesh. Try basement.
Oh, well, burps are smelly too.
Ugh.
Basement waterproofing and French drains. Life happens. Meteorologist happens to help you through it.
Make it Meteorologist.
Come on, take your basement back. 844-FIX-INDY.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Bear.
Eastbound 72 downtown, stop and go from Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois. And on the southwest side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic 72, Harding Street, State Road 37. Northwest side, northbound 465 slows at 86 and a crash. Speedway, Crawfordsville Road at Cunningham. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs & Isaacs. Dog bite injury? Call Isaacs & Isaacs, the law firm Indiana's trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Clouds increase for tonight. Showers and storms in the early morning. Low temperature of 65 degrees. Wednesday brings the chance at strong storms and multiple waves. High temperature of 73 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
I do think it's amazing how much money Trump has raised ever since the indictment was handed down, or the announcement of an indictment was coming, or even after Donald Trump went on social media a couple of weeks ago and said, yeah, they're indicting me this Tuesday. Now, that never happened, but tens of millions of dollars have been raised just in the past couple of days since we knew that Trump was going to be indicted by this Manhattan district attorney. And I think it says something, doesn't it?
It's in a weird way, what's happening to him right now has reinvigorated his campaign. Because prior to this news coming out of an indictment, his campaign was doing okay, but, it wasn't thriving, okay? But ever since he's made that announcement, they're coming after me on Tuesday, and then we saw the indictment, today's arraignment. A lot of people who were previously on Team DeSantis have said, wait a minute, what they're doing to this guy is an absolute pile of crap.
I was listening to Trump's, what's his name, Miller, not Stephen Miller, a different Miller, his campaign spokesman last week, talking about the actual people that were donating to his campaign. I'm not talking about like big money Republican, Democrat, elite donors. I'm talking average, everyday, ordinary Americans who are writing checks for $20 and sending it into his campaign.
Right.
And that is adding up to tens of millions of dollars.
This is a big day. This is a historic day in our nation. Former President Donald Trump pleading not guilty to 34 felony counts, basically involving banking. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, the transfer of money and...
It's what we thought it was. It all has to do with the hush money payments to Stormy Daniels and the way the records were kept and the books were kept. And he's like counting each. I don't need to get into the weeds on it, but it is really just grueling and a very thin argument. And everybody, from even Alan Dershowitz, who hates Trump, who doesn't like Trump, who famously didn't vote for Trump, is saying this is the complete weaponization and politicization of the district attorney, of the prosecutorial misconduct.
The Justice Department looks incredibly biased right now in this country. When you consider what Donald Trump has gone through from the moment he came down the elevator to today. Now, some of these self-inflicted errors, let's not, make Donald Trump out to be a saint here, because he's not. But some of the ridiculous things they're going after him for, when you've got big glaring things on the other side of the political aisle that often go unnoticed or no one gives a damn about.
Justice Department didn't go after him. The DOJ, on a federal level, they decided to pass on all of this stuff. Former district attorneys there in New York, before DA Bragg became district attorney, passed on all this. This is purely, wholly political. You said the next the next court date's not until December?
December 4th.
And then hopefully a jury trial when?
January of 2024. Now, what's going on during January of 2024, Nigel?
Seems like an interesting bit of timing there by everybody. I don't know. The campaign, the election, the
Republican primaries.
Wow.
Donald Trump's scheduled to speak tonight at Mar-a-Lago. Again, no mugshot, no handcuffs, no perp walk today, and no gag order. He can say whatever he wants. The judge said, hey, everybody, let's not incite any violence here today. But let's be honest, the judge said that, but was looking squarely at Donald Trump. Now, I'm not going to name any names here, but let's not have any insurrection activities. Capiche? So 8:15 tonight down at Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump scheduled to make some sort of remarks.
And let me say this, too. I know this is an important day. It's a sad day in the history of our country, just the politics of it all. But the whole thing was underwhelming, from Trump having to fly down to him getting out of his motorcade. He kind of gave the power to the people sign with the fist up. And then we just didn't see a lot of fireworks at all. He was very stoic, I believe. He was described as very kind of had a swagger about him, but no fireworks. And again, yesterday we thought there was going to be a mugshot, and we wake up this morning and said, no mugshot needed, no handcuffs needed. And he left that courtroom after pleading not guilty, got right back on Trump won, and he's in the air right now back to Mar-a-Lago.
So without the mugshot, I don't know if the talking points were sent out to all the networks, but they decided at that point, we're going to go with the line of Donald J. Trump has been arrested. This is Anderson Cooper on CNN.
And Karen, you're saying as soon as he enters that building, he is technically under arrest?
Yes. He will be in the custody of the DA's office investigators, obviously with his Secret Service guard as well. And he will be told he is under arrest and he is in their custody at this time.
So at this moment at 1:24 p.m. Eastern Time, Donald J. Trump is under arrest?
Yes, he is.
That was CNN. Now listen, sounds like the same talking points were sent to MSNBC.
When he walked into that courthouse and he was escorted officially, Donald Trump, former president of the United States, frontrunner for the Republican nomination for president of the United States, is now under arrest. We've never seen it before. It is a sobering moment. And even though he's very consistent, sending out social media posts from the car saying again, seems so surreal. Wow, they are going to arrest me. Can't believe this is happening in America. You could shorten that and say that for Donald Trump, perhaps he can't believe this is happening. He did not believe, certainly in this case, from the reporting from inside, that this was going to happen. And it has now happened. Donald J. Trump is under arrest.
I mean, it's a little bit longer, drawn out, but it's the same talking points. So while CNN and MSNBC were taking off their pants, doing their thing with that, the crew from Fox News, they were out on the streets outside the court. And I believe this was Sarah Carter, one of the contributors to Fox, and a camera person. And listen to the anti-Trump protesters heckling the Fox crew.
Propaganda is really angry propaganda. Does that ever come to your mind? The amount of propaganda that you spread, the amount of racism that you spread. All you gotta do is look at Instagram. All you gotta do is look at Instagram and see something. You can't come into someone else's city and start assaulting people. They're located in anyway.
Yeah, blah, 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 Nazis, blah, 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 fascists, blah, 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 Fox News. All right. Yeah, there were opponents of Donald Trump's. There were supporters of Donald Trump's out there. Some skirmishes here and there, nothing really. Just sort of a kind of a circus-like carnival atmosphere outside that courthouse. But Donald Trump wasn't near any of that when he went into the court.
No, he was inside the court where the judge is a Democrat and who the daughter of the judge worked for the Kamala Harris campaign and then later the Biden-Harris campaign. So I'm sure everything's going to be on the up and up. As a matter of fact, while most cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom today, the Hammer and Nigel show, we were granted access, and this is what it sounded like inside that Manhattan court today.
Donald Trump will speak on behalf of Delta House.
I think we've heard enough, Mr. Chairman.
I was told I'd have a chance to... That's enough. The court will now render a decision. Well, look, you said I could speak. He said that's it.
Let's finish this damn thing.
Point of parliamentary procedure. You can do what you want to us, but we're not going to sit here and listen to you bad-mouth the United States of America. Gentlemen.
In my mind, that's exactly how that played out. So while Donald Trump's dealing with indictment stuff, let's check in with wheelin', dealin', hair-sniffing, kiss-stealing Joe Biden.
I got hairy legs.
Look, Pat, look, here's the deal.
Thank you, Dr. Pepper.
That's another line that I find myself saying all the time.
Just muttering to yourself as you're opening the refrigerator. Thank you, Dr. Pepper.
Like I do it around here. Like you'll throw me a drink in the back. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, Dr. Pepper. Joe Biden speaking at events, falsely claiming that no one making under $400,000 a year will pay one more penny in taxes.
Under my plan, nobody earning, this was a commitment I made when I started, and I've kept it, and I'll keep it as long as I'm here. No one making less than $400,000 a year going to pay one single penny extra in federal taxes. Not one.
Spoiler, he's already broken that promise. That's a flat-out lie, because according to the Joint Committee on Taxation, Biden has already raised the tax burden on families making as little as $20,000 a year. So don't believe the $400,000 crap. Biden, now mind you, we're going to get a creepy whisper out of this one.
Ooh.
Repeats the lie that his policies have reduced the deficit.
I cut the deficit over 2 years by $1.7 trillion, more than any president has in the history of the United States of America.
Per Moody's Analytics, the actions of the Biden administration and Congress have resulted in higher deficits, not smaller ones. But if you say it in a whisper, maybe people will believe it. Which brings us to great moments in creepy Biden whisper history. Joe Biden talking about the veto power.
Well, let me be very clear. If any of these bills make it to my desk, I will veto them.
So creepy. Joe Biden whispering about COVID money, the environment money, checks that are substantial. Oh, this one's the worst. Take a listen.
I got them. $1.9 trillion relief so far. Oh. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential. I wrote the bill on the environment. Pay them more.
The freaking hair on my arm is standing up. That's frightening. Because it sounds like a movie trailer. Like if you made a sequel to The Sixth Sense, this is what it would sound like. Coming this summer.
I want to tell you my secret now. I got them. $1.9 trillion relief so far.
The sequel you've been waiting for.
They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential.
The Sixth Sense 2. The Seventh Sense.
I see dead people. I wrote the bill.
Exclusively from Hammer and Nigel Pictures.
Dead people like in graves and coffins. On the environment.
That's scarier than anything that's came out in the last 10 years.
Please, M. Night Shyamalan doesn't have anything on Joe Biden.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
I report traffic. I built these roads for $1 billion. We have a crash in Speedway, Crawfordsville Road at Cunningham Road. Also a crash on the Far East Side, 21st at Mithofer. Looking at eastbound 465, southwest side, stop and go from 70 over to Harding. Inbound 65, jams at 21st. And eastbound 72 downtown, stop and go. Holt, Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you earned doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant updates.
Anyway. Hold a Biden right there.
Yeah, how about that?
79 at the American Standard. cooling weather center.
It's not a joke.
Anyway.
One of the best things that has happened here in Indianapolis is the arrival of QC Kinetics. They're amazing. Regenerative medicine treatments have helped so many people get lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Tony Katz here, and the demand for QC Kinetics treatments is so strong, they are opening another clinic in Carmel while continuing to treat in Eagle Creek and Greenwood. QC Kinetics, they're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, utilizing a modern-day approach to deal with chronic joint pain. It's an all-natural process that uses healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints so you can get your life back without that chronic pain and without surgery or drugs. You've been hearing about it, so stop putting it off. If you have arthritic pain or pain from an injury, do what so many already have done. Call QC Kinetics. It's a free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now. 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. In Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and now in Carmel. 317-559-PAIN.
I love the way my Window Nation energy efficient windows look on my house. They added value to my house. They saved me on my energy bills. If you have a home that's 20 years or older, Window Nation has the perfect offer for you. 0% financing for 5 years plus Window Nation, giving you 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy.
Pay 0 interest for 5 years. 0 for 5 years. This deal is a game changer. You're going to save thousands of dollars because this is on top of the existing deal where you buy 2 windows and get 2 for free. Any style of window from Window Nation, and there's no limit. You want to buy 4? You get 4 for free. What are you waiting for? If you have questions, call Window Nation right now. They've got folks ready to answer. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope.
Nuh-uh.
Oh no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
I'm counting down, so turn around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now make that booty go.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Man, I'll admit I was glued to the TV last night for all the Trump indictment stuff. Family's out of town, just getting back in. They were gone for a couple days in St. Louis, so I've been bachelor. I've been batching it up, man. And I did not watch 1 ounce of the championship game. I was not interested in that UConn game with San Diego State, right?
Correct.
UConn versus San Diego State. Did I miss anything?
No, UConn won. They were expected to win. It got within like 5 points with like 3.5, 4 minutes to go, but that was as close as it was going to get. UConn went on a run, blew them out at the end. Boring championship game.
I mean, it's all fun at the beginning of the tournament, isn't it? Oh, 16 seed beats a 1 seed. Oh, and then you wind up with that.
Yeah, FAU against San Diego in the Final Four.
Right.
I mean, listen, congratulations to those teams because it's a tournament. They won games. They did what they had to do. But can we get some blue bloods in there?
By the way, that Final Four game with FAU and San Diego State was amazing.
It was a good game.
That ending was unbelievable.
But the numbers are down.
Right.
The ratings are down. The demand for tickets wasn't there because even though UConn is really good, 5 championships in the last 25 years, you've got to put them in the conversation with the blue bloods now, right? But it just didn't move the needle. There weren't those brands in the Final Four. No Kansas, no Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, places like that. They bring in money. They bring in eyeballs. But congratulations to UConn, 5th national championship. I think these games start too damn late. Like, I'm into this kind of stuff.
Was it like
I gamble.
Was it 9:20 tip-off, I think?
Ball didn't go up until 9:20. So if you're into like the post game and the Nets cutting down and the one shining moment, you're up until after midnight last night. Dude, I'm 45 years old. I got 2 kids. I got to get up and go to work in the morning. I ain't staying up till after midnight to watch one shining moment for a couple teams that I don't even like. So that's why if you missed it last night, we're going to relive one Biden moment from our Biden Madness tournament in case you missed it last night during March Madness.
But I might point out, when I went to Dearborn driving that, was up there. I don't know, man. I think the press thought I was crazy. I enjoyed it so much going up and that Hummer. The guy takes a revealing picture of his naked friend.
True international effort to depression.
A vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now. Katanji drowned Jackson.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. They had to take the top of my head off a couple times, see if I had a brain. Absolutely determined as Murph and others are.
Murph and others.
Pearl Nelson, military. She'd come in and do things that I don't think you learn in medical school, nursing school. She'd whisper in my ear. I couldn't understand him. She'd whisper, she'd lean down. Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Well, anyway, America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
What was that word?
True international effort to depression.
That was the word.
Get ready, pal. You're going to enter a problem.
Yeah.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alvin. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, I'm getting sentimental. That brought a tear to my eye.
So if you couldn't stay up late last night for the one shining moment, that was the tribute we had at the end of Biden Madness this year, one Biden moment. All right, we got Dr. Laura Wilson, professor of political science at the University of Indianapolis. She's coming up next. Right now, Harrison Silcox has the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A long day for the former president. Partly cloudy, 79 degrees in downtown Indy. All clear on your radar. Storms expected tonight and tomorrow morning. The low drops to 10 degrees, down to 68. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:29. You may have heard former President Trump pled not guilty today. Fox's Kristen Goodwin has more.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg alleges former President Trump falsified state business records to hide crimes, including breaking state election law.
It is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about.
alleging he took part in a catch-and-kill scheme to squash negative stories about him during his 2016 election campaign, paying at least 3 people hush money payments through former lawyer Michael Cohen, signing 34 documents falsely claiming the payments were for legal services. The former president pleading not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records and conspiracy. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
2 rounds of severe weather are expected tomorrow, but when they get here, all depends on if there's a storm tonight.
If the thunderstorms overnight tonight end up making it all the way into Indiana, that's really going to limit the late morning, early afternoon threat. And then we'd be looking at the severe threat being more likely the mid-afternoon hours.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says those storms tomorrow can bring damaging winds, hail, and even possibly tornadoes. Beech Grove High School was evacuated this afternoon because of concerns about a smoke-related issue, says the school. 22 members of students and staff mentioned some smoke inhalation concerns, but a physician on site did not recommend that anybody needed to be sent to the hospital. What caused the problem is still being investigated. President Biden met with advisors at the White House about the opportunities and risks of artificial intelligence today.
Social media has already shown us the harm that powerful technologies can do without the right safeguards in place. Absent safeguards, we see the impact on the mental health and self-images and feelings and hopelessness, especially among young people.
He says the meeting focused on the need for bipartisan legislation making tech companies responsible for the safety of their products. The National Weather Service confirmed this afternoon that a 20th tornado touched down in Indiana last Friday. It moved through Montgomery and Boone counties. With traffic at 531, here's Matt Bear.
Trouble getting into downtown. Eastbound 70 is stop and go from Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois. And inbound 65 stops at 20. First starts to move again right around West Street to the north split. Northwest side, northbound 465 stop and go. 86th Street to 865. Crash Speedway, Crawfordsville Road at Cunningham. One on the east side, 21st at Mithofer. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Clouds increase for tonight. Showers and storms in the early morning. Low temperature is 65 degrees. Wednesday brings the chance at strong storms and multiple waves. High temperature of 73 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the DriveHubler.com hotline.
Dr. Laura Wilson is a professor of political science at the University of Indianapolis. Doctor, let's get into the biggest story, not only in America, but maybe the world right now. Donald Trump arraigned earlier today. I don't know if it was all the fanfare people expected, no handcuffs, no mugshot, but just your initial reaction to seeing a former United States president arraigned on charges.
Well, it's genuinely historic. And in many ways, quite frankly, that fits Donald Trump and his legacy as president, right? Being elected as president, having never served in public office, traditionally as a political scientist, we'd say, no, you can't do that. Like he did. And I think he made a lot of historic moves. Certainly in this one, probably, one that he wouldn't necessarily want to make. But I think there's also some kind of expectation, both from his supporters and his opposition, right? Like you don't expect the handcuffs or the so-called perp walk, right? This is a former U.S. president, and whether or not you liked or voted or supported, right, you still have that office tied and associated with him. So I think we see that kind of playing out too. And when you talk about, Marjorie Taylor Greene's there are some protests, right? There's a lot of focus on this. There feels like there's never been a more important case to get right, quite frankly, because this isn't just an indictment on a former president, or you're involving the office of the presidency of what happened before he assumed office, but something that's tied into the larger American history. And I think about this all the time when I teach college students. We talk about historic moments and something you will remember. That is what we're watching play out right now during this arraignment.
Let's do both sides here. Let's start with the Democrats first, heading into the 2024 presidential election. How do you think they will use this to their benefit?
Oh, you highlight, if you're a Democrat, this is a criminal indictment, right? You can talk about improper use. It's an improper use of campaign finance. It's a violation there. It's not, overwhelmingly, I think it may not have the same kind of power of persuasion of other criminal charges that you could see, but nonetheless, I think you emphasize that component. And it's, we were talking about to a former adult film star, right? It was kind of hush money payment. So you emphasize all of the seedy, all of the unattractive, all of the really painful elements that you think will hurt. And that's what I think the Democrats can do. I do think the Democrats can use this, but you also need to be careful because if this is solely what you're running on, it will not be an effective campaign, and it will certainly not be an effective administration. This will speak to some voters. Certainly Democrats wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump anyway. Right? You're looking at independents. How do you sell this to independents? And obviously you'll talk about how unsavory, how unappealing, and how unattractive this is. And you do it in the kind of way that's going to reach independents without scaring them off, without overdoing it. I think that's the line that the Democrats will want to walk.
But you're right, though. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. If this is all the Democrats have, they need a little bit more juice than this, even though this is a huge story.
Oh, absolutely. Because you can't just run against someone. You have to run on something. There has to be a platform there. And I think you said, talk about the opposition versus support for the Republicans. I think what we've seen so far overwhelmingly, when you have the exception of Asa Hutchinson, who announced that he's running because he thinks this is not good. But mostly they're standing by and they're supporting Donald Trump. And that would align with what you see in terms of Republican voter support. Like you want to be careful not to alienate here or to criticize too much, because Donald Trump still has a lot of support based on polling from voters. And especially if we're talking the primary, I mentioned independents earlier, you need your party voters. For Republicans, you want to be careful in how you phrase this. Like, sure, this isn't a great thing, but this isn't the only thing. This isn't the central thing. You reframe the conversation. So this is much more on the periphery. And in fact, you talk about the issues you want to focus on. I think that's really important for any Republican candidate right now, based on the polling. And unless or until, if public opinion were to change, then maybe if public opinion changes on Donald Trump, then maybe the candidates change their messaging and positioning there too. But at least for the primaries, based on the polling we have right now, that seems like the smartest strategy.
We're speaking with Dr. Laura Wilson, professor of political science at the University of Indianapolis. She's joining us here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Doctor, do you think right now we're watching a very slippery slope of where the justice system is becoming more and more political? We hear that argument from Trump supporters a lot. They claim that they've been under investigation ever since he came down the elevator. Meanwhile, the Bidens, there may or may not be some Chinese money trails following them back and forth. Hunter Biden seems like he's kind of escaped on some stuff. Do you think the justice system is in a really dangerous spot in this country right now?
I certainly hope it isn't. Yeah. But that said, I think even the perception of it is problematic. Because if we're starting to look at justice as being partisan, right, that's a horrible future for us. Because you think, well, it doesn't matter if someone was right or wrong. It depends on who's president and which party they are. I heard someone make this analysis earlier, and I thought it was really important. They're talking about President Richard Nixon. He wasn't brought down by Democrats. He was brought down by his own Republican Party. And in some ways, that makes it feel a little bit more politically neutral. So you know that it's not the politics, right? It's what was happening. It was the actual process or the violations of law directly. And I do genuinely fear if we believe, whether or not it's true, or even worse, if it actually is, that justice has a partisanship and an ideological bias, and it doesn't matter whether or not you did it. It matters whether or not the the presumed judge is from your party or not, then what that says about justice as a whole in this country. Like, that starts to sound very scary, and in fact, the opposite of what justice is. I think that should be concerning, and I also recognize why people might feel that way, given the circumstances we're in, where it's a very polarized country. This topic, the indictment, the arraignment, these are very polarizing issues. One last thing I'd add is they probably are political, but that doesn't necessarily mean they don't also have merit in all the ways, right? Every single issue. If you're looking at justice, you try to take off that partisan element and to be able to analyze and assess. Do we have proof? Do we have facts? What is the material we have in front of us? Does it prove a law was violated or not? And that is true for any person, any human being, any current or former office holder of any political party. That is the definition. That is the true process of justice we should see.
And I think you touched on this just a little bit earlier, Dr. Laura. This is a unifying event, I believe, for Republicans. I mean, when you have Jeb Bush coming out and defending Donald Trump, his arch nemesis, when you have guys like DeSantis who haven't said if they're running or not, coming out in the defense of a guy like Donald Trump, even somebody that's running against Donald Trump, Ramaswamy, coming out in his defense. I think we can tell this is a galvanizing event for Republicans, and especially the Trump base.
It absolutely is. And let me highlight, last week there was a PBS NPR Marist News poll that assessed how Americans felt. Now, this was also before the indictment and, of course, today's arraignment, so it is a week old. But it highlighted that 57% of Americans, this is on the whole, your general electorate, right? 57% felt that it was fair, meaning you've got 43% that don't. But the Republicans, 8 out of 10, felt like this was a witch hunt. It was a political prosecution. And so that kind of data tells you that for the Republican candidates, you do no good for yourself if you say, well, I think he did it, or I think this is fair, this is just, I don't think he's being wronged, whatever it is. The challenge might be, of course, pivoting from the primary, whoever, whether it's Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis, somebody else, probably not Asa Hutchinson, but who knows, whoever wins the primary for the Republican Party, at that point in time, and that's well over a year from now, what do they do? Is there a pivot? Is there a change? Right? Where does public opinion stand on that? And also, where do the candidates stand? I don't want to make it sound like they just have to respond to everything a voter says and does. I think right now this is the smart move, and that's why you see most of the Republicans standing by the party. They are unified in that opposition for sure.
Dr. Laura Wilson, professor of political science at the University of Indianapolis. Doctor, we always appreciate it when you can spare a few minutes with us here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It is my pleasure. Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
At Shane Company, we know that when it comes to jewelry, everyone has their own sense of style. With the largest selection of unique fine jewelry, it will be easy to find something perfect for you. I'm a Shane Company jewelry consultant, and I love helping people find something that speaks to them. Every piece here is special, made with love and care. At Shane Company, we're known for our stunning sapphires. We have every color of the rainbow. Choose a style with your favorite sapphire color, or choose one of our other beautiful gemstones like deep blue tanzanite or red ruby. If you gravitate to bold classics, our diamond hoop earrings and yellow gold chains really stand out. Maybe you prefer a more subtle look, like a simple gold band for stacking, or a dainty necklace with a sparkling diamond. At Shane Company, we have jewelry for every personality. If you need some ideas, talk to one of us. We don't work on commission, so you'll never feel rushed. Visit us and have fun wearing jewelry that's an expression of you.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Skyworks Equipment Rental of Indianapolis has immediate openings for experienced parts coordinators, heavy equipment mechanics, CDL drivers, and outside sales reps. Full-time with medical, disability, PTO, 401k, and more. Apply today at skyworksllc.com/jobs. Skyworks, building America from the ground up.
Start your week with some fun. WIBC's First Day, Sunday, 10 o'clock to noon, brought to you by Greg Cooper and Lisa Phillips with Crossroads Collective at Compass Real Estate.
Introducing small business savings from Comcast Business. For a limited time, you can save money on powerful internet. So don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply.
All right, before we hit Matt Baer in the traffic center, shout out to Noble Romans, Chapel Hill on 10th Street. They brought some grub in today. It was awesome. So thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Noble Romans, Chapel Hill, 10th Street on the west side. Awesome stuff. All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
South side, Hammer, it is a crash northbound 65. And this is a mess. At Edgewood Avenue or to the north of Southport Road, crash blocking 2 right lanes. Looks like a car's underneath a van here. So right now, traffic is stopped back to Southport Road. No quarter there. Also looking at northbound 465 on the northwest side, stop and go 86th Street up to 865. And eastbound 70 still drags to downtown from Tibbs to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
79 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Another hour of the Hammer and Nigel show coming up after 6 o'clock. Again, thank you to all the listeners for donating and helping the tornado victims yesterday. We're going to be ready for that weather, an incoming system tonight. But talk about just a sense of gratitude of the outpouring of support from people who donated to the Salvation Army for the victims of the tornadoes over the weekend, Hammer.
And it wasn't just the Salvation Army. We had Kroger involved. The Red Cross was involved. The Civic Center, the city of Sullivan was involved. Their mayor called in. And honestly, this was something you and I kind of just threw together Sunday night. We were preparing the show and said, you know what? We've got to do something for these people because this is awful. So without a lot of promotion, without a lot of fanfare, we took to the air yesterday, and our goal was $1,000 every hour. You know, if we could raise $4,000, that'd be great.
I think that was pretty reasonable.
Man, it ended up being $11,600. And that's just from the Salvation Army, not even factoring in Red Cross and Kroger. So you guys went above and beyond, and God bless each and every one of you folks. That was awesome. And even when we went off the air, Nige, I was getting messages on our social media, people from construction sites and places that fix automobiles were volunteering their services, wanting to know how they could help the victims. And you mentioned it. Be careful tonight. We heard from Marcus Bailey a little bit earlier. Late night tonight, overnight hours. Be very careful. Be weather ready. Dateline Delaware. A man in Delaware pled guilty to stealing the thumb of a 2,000-year-old Chinese sculpture.
I thought you were talking about Brian Stelter.
He broke it off during an ugly sweater party in December of 2017.
There's a lot going on here. They were at an ugly sweater party where?
Back in 2017, they had an ugly sweater party, and this very expensive Chinese sculpture was there. And the dude, I don't know if he was drunk or what, knocked off the thumb of the sculpture. It was $5,000 worth of damage.
So he was at some random party, and some rich guy had this sculpture of a Chinese, and this guy just vandalized it and broke it off.
Right. So, they finally cracked the case, and here's my favorite part. He did return the thumb when the authorities tracked him down.
Well, boy, who was on the case? Alvin Bragg? This seems very important. This seems very important, the case in Delaware. After years of investigation, years of taxpayer money, they finally found the guy that stole the thumb off the Chinese sculpture.
Meanwhile, also in Delaware, Biden's garage is wide open and classified documents are next to the Corvette. But we're going to focus on the thumb.
Sure.
Great moments in thumb history. I think we all know who this is about.
Avenatti has just been convicted on 3 counts for alleged extortion and other crimes. I've been getting some grief from Sean Hannity this weekend, speaking of Fox, right? From Hannity for once suggesting that I thought Avenatti could be a serious candidate for president. So give me a media critique. Was that stupid on my part?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Well, Brian Stelter has since left the New York Times. He's now the House eunuch at CNN.
I miss Brian Stelter.
Every day we're trying to keep track of the drip, drip, drip of the Russia investigation.
This guy.
Trump supporters are in a cult.
Do you believe that he's colluding with Russia?
I wish I could just say no.
Here's that weird little guy on CNN.
It wasn't until this Friday night that I hit a wall. And that's when the tears came. So we have nothing to compare this with. So it can be incredibly alarming. It can be incredibly depressing. Media can help. Making media can help. But the emotions are real for everybody.
Shut up.
They're a big part of the story.
Oh, wow.
Oh, barf.
Top stories. Next.
What if you didn't have to continue working to live a lifestyle you're happy with? What if you could spend the rest of your life doing what you want to do when you want to do it, not worrying about others claiming your time and energy? Aspiring retirees want to know how to achieve the work-optional lifestyle. A much better question is, who can help you achieve this lifestyle? Working because you want to, not because you have to, is financial freedom. This is Brian Singer. My friend and colleague Casey Weed, the founder of Howard Bailey Financial, wrote a best-selling book titled Job Optional. I'm excited to be part of a team that has developed and refined a proprietary process designed to help people who are still working create a job-optional lifestyle. The Howard Bailey Retire with Purpose framework looks at 5 key areas of your financial life and then informs your choices to design a lifestyle as unique as you are. Retire with Purpose puts all the pieces of the puzzle together in a process designed to bring predictability and purpose to your financial life. We're not all things to all people. We are all things to some people. This means we primarily work with people who understand you don't need to know how, you just need to know who. Who knows how to fit all the pieces of the puzzle together to support your one-of-a-kind lifestyle? Who can do that for you and do it so well that that advisor team is the last team you will ever need or want? We work with people who expect their relationship with us to be transformational rather than transactional. Call us at 317-852-9153 to schedule a retirement readiness review and see how the Retire with Purpose process might transform your life. 317-852-9153.
Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities, LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved. Job Optional was the #1 Amazon bestseller in retirement planning on 7/2/19 and a Wall Street Journal ebook bestseller on 8/9/19.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month, with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses, with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 4/4/23. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Terry Stacy here. At Easter, we gather with family to celebrate the traditions that comfort us. Make honey baked ham part of your holiday meal tradition. Always slow smoked for 24 hours, spiral sliced for easy serving, then fire glazed right in the store to create that sweet, crunchy finish they're famous for. It's why honey baked has been the centerpiece of holiday dinners since 1957. Taste the tradition this Easter with 2 Central Indiana locations, West 96th Street and Michigan Road in Indy, or East Greyhound Pass in Carmel.
This is another ad about hiring. But it's not just another ad about hiring. R.E. Diamond & Associates has opened a special position, a construction project manager, for the right person. If you're well-versed in all construction methodologies and procedures, MEPT, and have an analytical mind, this might be the right fit for you. If you bring the experience, deep understanding of the construction process, and outstanding communication skills, R.E. Diamond will meet you with competitive pay, a great benefits package, and a work culture and environment that's second to none.
Hi, this is James Darnell, Vice President of Information and Communications Technology with R.E. Diamond & Associates. We were just voted one of the best places to work in Indiana. Our expertise, integrity, and organizational culture make us a great place to continue building your career. We emphasize service and respect for our clients and pride ourselves on having the majority of our clients as repeat ones.
To find out more, Google R.E. Diamond. That's R.E. Diamond. Or to speak with an R.E. Diamond representative, call 317-634-4672.
Hubler really does have it all. All of our pre-owned vehicles are Hubler Q certified, which include a 128-point vehicle inspection, a free Carfax vehicle history report, and 2 warranties. A 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and a 30-day, 1,000-mile comprehensive warranty. Visit any of our 13 locations today, or click drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. Be Noble Inc., the local economic development organization for Noble County, is teaming up with the Community Learning Center in Kendallville to launch The Cookery, a commercial shared kitchen and food service incubator. Operations Director Lori Gagan called launching The Cookery a no-brainer.
The facility was already there. It's commercially licensed. We have partners who operate in and around the Community Learning Center on a daily basis. As we really started thinking about defining and enhancing Noble County's entrepreneurial ecosystem, this was just low-hanging fruit for us.
The shared kitchen will be available on an hourly, daily, or membership basis. The incubator will feature one resident that will have extra resources to grow their culinary business. Muncie-based Ball State Financial announced this week it has merged with Muncie Post Office Credit Union. While financial details are not being disclosed, Ball State Financial said the credit union's members will benefit from an expanded array of services. Toronto-based Metal Supermarkets is expanding its Indiana footprint with the opening of a retail store in Mishawaka, its 4th in Indiana. The small-quantity metal supplier, which markets itself as the convenience stores for metal, caters to a variety of customers including machinists, homeowners, and hobbyists. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
At Indiana University, your health is our higher purpose. You are the reason we break ground in medicine, the reason we develop life-changing research. You're the reason we fight diabetes, cancer, and Alzheimer's. Our mission is to create a better quality of life for you and people throughout our state. And as the leader of health in Indiana, when we have the will, we find the way. Learn more at iu.edu/healthimpact.
The latest reading of the monthly Purdue University CME Group Ag Economy Barometer continues to reveal weakening farmer sentiment both now and in the future of the agricultural economy. Purdue says rising interest rates and weaker prices for key commodities, including wheat, corn, and soybeans, were key factors behind this month's lower sentiment reading. Angie's List founder Angie Hicks is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what to know about the next round of severe storms in Indiana. Parker Carlson's got that story. Students in Beech Grove should be back in school tomorrow after today's evacuation. And early voting in Indiana started today. All that and more after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. It's about 74 degrees downtown now. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 6 o'clock.
34 counts. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
The defendant claimed that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017. This simply was not true.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, after former President Trump pled not guilty to the charges of falsifying business records. Bragg claims Trump tried to influence the 2016 election through a series of hush money payments, including to Stormy Daniels, to stifle claims that could have been harmful to his candidacy.
In New York, in order to be found guilty of a felony count or be charged with a felony count, you have to be found to have been trying to hide or a second crime. So in this case, what Bragg is alleging is that essentially former President Trump falsified business records in further